10 seconds remaining.
Shadow Fiend.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Where NaVi can...
You prefer aggression?
Yeah, I think Shadow Fiend is a hero that suffers when people run at him and there's no way to save him. They don't have a Dazzle, they don't have a Shadow Demon, they don't have a great teamfight counter initiator, like a Centaur, like a Magnus.
And there's no support that can farm a Force or a Glimmer Cape very quickly.
Right, Batrider could maybe get one, but still, like, are you really getting away anyway? They can glimpse you back, they're going to amp you, they're likely to have Weaver chasing your Surge.
Swarm on you.
Yeah, I think where NaVi can... If NaVi's going to win this, they have to have General making a lot of plays early on the Batrider, taking some fast towers with the Leshrac, and Shadow Fiend just completely dominating his lane. Otherwise, I just don't see them doing well this game. So, I'm loving Spirit's draft.
Worried about General. You mentioned you feel he needs to make plays in this game, and I mentioned the Ogre plus Bat potential duel. It's honestly a very hard choice.
Yeah, that's where Spirit have like their options, right? Because their laning heroes are very difficult to gank. Relatively strong, like Darkseer is going to get his farm. Weaver, a hero that they don't have too much kill potential on, I would say, unless they want to commit both supports to that lane. In which case, you're giving the Ursa free reign, and Slardar can get a lot done. So it's a pick your poison situation for NaVi is kind of how I see it.
I like that from RMN, actually warding, centering up his own camp so Darkseer can't stack and contest and pull it.
Yeah, that's nice. See the Dire Ward go down a bit. More difficult to deward this one off to the side.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that ward dewarded, because so often the sentry goes down here to catch the one on this high ground, or it goes further up north to catch one of the hilltop ones.
Yeah. And that's kind of the idea with it, I guess. It's in a little bit more of an awkward position, but far less likely to get dewarded.
And they'll be able to see when the Ogre and Leshrac come in as well, seeing as it will be Iceberg mid on the Ursa.
Okay. So it's going to be Ursa mid against Shadow Fiend. I actually think Ursa does pretty well in this lane, all things considered, because you have the superior move speed, right? So you can always threaten to run at the Shadow Fiend. If you get boots first, and he doesn't have anyone supporting him, he doesn't TP out right away, you can actually solo kill the Shadow Fiend. So.
Like, Earthshock has a 5-second cooldown. It's ridiculously good. I saw it in a pub game not too long ago where...
The Max Earthshock build?
Max Earthshock, but it was against the Batrider, and this Ursa just said, I play Ursa mid, I will win against Batrider, don't worry. And we're just like, but Bat's going to own you, dude. He's just going to sticky napalm, he's going to Firefly, you're going to die. He just Earthshocks, turns and fights, runs the other guy down.
So they're gonna,
it's like a lane winner.
They're going to dual lane this, and with the dual lane and the help early of the Lesh, I think that he probably does okay, but again, you got to be careful. Like, if you get crushed near the Ursa, could easily be a first blood. So, but they'll play it safe here. FNG going to take some heavy punishment. The other lane, Ogre Batrider top. This is a really strong dual lane. So this, I think, will give Spirit some problems. But as far as here's the lane against Bat, like Weaver's one of the best, right? You get a magic stick, and all that napalm just fuels your Sakuchi.
Yeah, and the Ignite as well being spammed out by Weaver, but This means that Lifesteal has been given the 1v1 Pycat up against DK Phobos on the bot lane, and this is what I was kind of alluding to, what I was worried about when they were making this decision, is how much emphasis is Dendi's getting run down mid. There's another Earthshock soon.
This is, again, 2v1, but Ursa is just so tanky. 6 armor plus the poor man's shield. Now, granted, he's lacking on regen, but we'll try to grab the boots, then go back for the healing salve, and, even if Shadow Fiend farms, like, trading farm, I don't really feel that's enough given how easily killed he will be later on. So. And
you're not stacking camps or anything for SF. You're very, very dedicated to these lanes as NaVi.
I keep on, I guess, at least for me, I'm highlighting how much I feel like Spirit have the superior draft. But the one thing I am a little worried about for them is FNG getting farmed, because Slardar doesn't need a whole lot, but he is their primary initiator, right? They don't have anyone else who has a reliable catch aside from the glimpse for a single target, and he's just roaming right now, not CSing or pulling at all. They're gonna move in here though. They find the crush. Armen getting caught out. Iceberg there with the clap. Good body blocking, Gareth. Looks like the first blood. One more hit.
Yeah, I've got him.
They're just so squishy.
They really wanted Dendi, but he did a few little sort of micro moves to dodge out from Earthshock to get himself away from that Slardar who was waiting on top of the ramp for him. So they give the Leshrac, but they keep Dendi alive, but still a great kill there from Spirit. And you mentioned FNG and his farm and where he's going to get it from. He has been really the key player on these key heroes for Spirit throughout the group stage, at the beginning of the playoffs, playing Rubik and Slardar, and he's the glue that holds the team together, right? He moves between lanes, he initiates, he starts team fights, he's the one making the calls, and he's the one starting every initiation. If he has a rough game, the entire team has a rough game.
Yeah, so they give up the kill in the mid lane. Ursa significantly out CSing Shadow Fiend already, and that is not a good sign. If he gets phase boots first, he really can threaten for kills here. Dendi, no TP scroll yet, but we'll need to start carrying one soon. Unless Armen is just going to permanently affix himself to late, in which case you're leeching XP from a hero that's extremely XP dependent in the Shadow Fiend.
But he needs to do it, right? He needs to be nearby.
And all the while, like Pycat, bottom lane, just trading with Darkseer. Off lane, Batrider, even with the Weaver on CS. Now, granted, Weaver's experience suffering a little bit, but he's been pressured a lot, and he's sharing it with the Disruptor, so... Yeah, late's going really well for Spirit.
Yeah, and we mentioned in the draft that Darkseer is one of those greedier offlaners, needs the gold, needs the levels to actually build up into your arcanes, your mech, and then into sort of level 7, 8 when you've got some more levels in a vacuum. But giving a 1v1 to a DS like this, sure, Pycat's going to have that, kind of jump into the mid game with his great farm, and they're going to have General to carry him around. But with a counter initiation from Darkseer always available, it's scary.
The 3-hero rotation mid, they can't even kill the Ursa, and that's the difference between Ursa and Shadow Fiend, right? Like if that's a Shadow Fiend getting caught mid, he's dead, but Ursa just able to soak up that damage and walk away. Uh-oh.
Well, 3.5 second cooldown on Earthshock's pretty good, I heard.
Yeah, looking for more as they're gonna dive by for the Ogre. McGee under the tower, he'll go down to a quick double kill for Iceberg, and again, it goes back to what we said as soon as the draft did. Like, Spirit is going to run at you. What are you going to do about it? And the answer, apparently, so far for NaVi is not a whole lot.
Just sit back and take it.
I mean, you could carry a TP, and in some cases that might let you get away, but Dendi TPing in mid, he's going to miss a raise. He gets glimpsed back. That leaves Viper alone, who likely goes down again here. Iceberg whipping on his clap, but it's not going to matter. Should be able to run him down. The Bear already grabbing, I believe that's his third kill of the game.
3-0-1.
That's your phase boots for Iceberg, and level 5 to boot. And Dendi has to take the walk of shame back down mid.
And Pycat is having to infest creeps, run away from DK Phobos. He's getting sort of shoved away. The farm is being traded decently, but this Darkseer is having such a great time on the bottom lane.
It's it's to me all in General right now. And the thing is, General's not doing that great. 16 CS. He has no real stacks to speak of right now, so yeah, he's not gonna have a fast Blake.
And that's the trouble with the aggro dual lane, right? The Ogre was there, and it enables the Batrider to not feed, but it doesn't enable the Batrider to win the lane and crush the Weaver, like you said, with the Shikuchi and the Magic Stick, or the Magic Wand now, 11 charges on it. Weaver is under no threat of dying at all, so General just has to kind of sit here and leech experience a bit, take a few CS here and there. And Na'Vi are very, very poor at rotating to lanes and making things happen or stopping things from what Spirit are doing.
Oh, FNG might find a solo kill here on RMN, who is out of mana, and that indeed is the case. All right, Slardar heating up. I mentioned maybe struggling for levels. Gareth, he is already level 4.
Yep.
As a roaming Slardar has been involved in, I want to say, almost every kill at this point.
2, 1, 3 on Slardar, yeah, you're right.
In fact, it is every single kill. That is absolutely brutal. Weaver not level 6, though. This could be a big opportunity for General as he chases forward. He's already committed everything, though. The Flame Break, it's not enough. BZZ able to simply stick up, walks away. The one hero who needs to have a big impact, unable to do so, and now they might look to pincer Dendi in the mid lane.
The more I think and look at this Na'Vi draft, the weirder it gets, right? They've got very little catch and kill. Sure, when Batrider gets Blink, they can lasso someone in, but they don't have any great nuke damage to instantly take out a target. So maybe they can find the Weaver here.
Would be a nice pick off, and finally Na'Vi get on the board on this top lane. 2 and 5, or 2-5, I should say, the score. But still, hard-fought kills for them, and they'll need more of that as they look to continue pursuit for Sticky Napalm stacks up on Bank score. Not going to go fully just yet. You can see DK Phobos now, as you point out earlier, can just take advantage of the jungle, shove in the lane, farm the enemy newts, and snowball his experience in gold.
I actually wonder why he's not cutting creep wave at all. Forcing Lifestealer to like farm under tower and maybe the tower tanks a couple of hits would be pretty nice.
Maybe a bit worried about getting ganked should he be out of position like that. It doesn't have a TP scroll right now. But definitely 1v1 against Lifestealer, you can cut the wave, and unless he gets help, there's not a whole lot he can do about it.
Dendi has to go back into the jungle and farm. He doesn't even have treads. Oh. His bottle's empty. Aquila, Brown Boots, Magic Wand. I mean, by like 10, 11 minutes, you kind of want to have your treads, Aquila, and almost half your Dragon Lance, but...
Yeah.
Dendi's being completely shut down.
He is a very poor Shadow Fiend. When Ursa's ahead of you in CS, at this stage of the game, you know you're in trouble. I mean, you should be ahead just by, in theory, because of your ability just to clear stacks with the Shadow Rays. And the thing is, you can't really bully the Ursa when he's got the phase boots advantage, because he can always threaten to run at you if you play too aggressively in the lane. So, Dendi kind of chipping at distance here, but not having an easy time of it.
And once again, FNG's running down into that Radiant jungle, and he finds a ward. I guess he had his down much earlier and saw the one placed out.
Yeah, he saw that get dropped. So some free gold for him. FNG up to 600, so well on his way to the blink.
RMN angrily scribbling on the map. This top lane needs to be killed, guys.
Yeah, let's just eradicate the entire upper quadrant of the map. How's that sound?
I mean, they need to do they need to make action happen. They need to do something. It's just so hard to say what that something is.
Well, while they're busy parking multiple heroes up top, Dendi is not safe, so he has to leave the mid lane. As Iceberg pushes in, you can see the rotation is actually headed Dendi's way. But you could really feel the pressure. Like, looking from the Radiant side, they have no vision of their jungle. There's currently 4 heroes off the map. They're going to try and gank this Weaver, but it's not the easiest kill. BZZ well behind the tower and safely tucked away.
I actually quite like this move from Na'Vi, sending 3 or 4 top, as long as Dendi doesn't get caught.
Oh, as dear. You say that. Hello, Shadow Friend. I'll give you a hug.
TPs are coming in.
Might get a kill here on bank score, though. Dendi manning up, but if they can get the Shadow Fiend kill, it's well worth it anyway. A 2-hero crush. Pycat slow in the rage. Iceberg could maybe try and fight him. Worried about additional reinforcements. Oh, he's going to cancel that TP. And look to fight.
And now top lane, the chase is on. BZZ, he gives up. He's running into Ogre and Batrider. Maybe not the best fight to be taking. But Pycat was shoving bot lane. They had 3 top. I think if Dendi had maybe moved up towards his own top tier 1 and joined the rest of his team, I would have really liked that move, just shoving the 2 side lanes. Because if the roaming gank comes into the Lifestealer, he can just rage TP. There's nothing to stop it outside of a bash from FNG, which he hasn't even skilled up just yet. Whereas if Spirit roam into the 4-man of Na'Vi, I think Na'Vi are in a good position if they're the ones being initiated on.
Oh, they want to punish FNG for constantly infesting this woods. Flame breaking him back. It's not quite enough for the kill. In fact, Iceberg wanting to go into the tower. A bold move considering Lasso is ready. He'll be punished for it. Not sure if he thought it got dropped earlier in the top lane.
And it's stuff like that where I kind of want NaVi to be grouping up as 4 or maybe 5 and letting Spirit run into them, because at this point, when they're sticking Napalm and Shadow Fiend's got his level 1 Requiem, they've got so many things that can happen as the initiation is occurring from Team Spirit that does damage or slows or offsets the team fight or disrupts what Spirit are planning to do, that they can actually create enough chaos in a team fight to maybe find an initial pick before Spirit can do anything. Alright, man. Oh, Leshrac is so weak.
Oh, he still gets the kill. That's brutal. Leshrac down again. It's a squishy support, and there's just not a whole lot he can do. He instantly TP'd there too.
Yeah, there was no way out. General with the drums. Batrider drums, not something we've seen in a long time. Usually it's kind of just the Tranquil's Windlace, and maybe a magic wand into Blink.
I think he's just thinking, like, how good is a Blink Dagger really at this game when they have a disruptor? Can I really count on like a Blink Lasso to actually catch someone, kidnap them, and not just have it broken immediately? So better to be tankier, able to stay in the fights longer.
And run away faster.
Yeah, that too. Here comes the big fight in the mid lane. Static Storm getting dropped. They have managed to cage the Lifestealer. Could be trouble as the vacuum back comes. They look for the turn. Iceberg low, but not finished off. Still holds the Aegis though. And they can continue pursuit here. FNG threatening to go in a bit deeper. They cage Dendy. Now they look for the crush. There it goes. The follow-up damage coming through. But a great 2-hero stun by the Lesh might be enough to salvage this fight. The wall still forcing Navi back. They're going to try and kidnap DK Phobos. FNG gets dragged deeper. And there's the crush. Looking for a bit more. He finds the Shadow Feet kill yet again. Pycat on the chase. Open wounds there. He's looking for backup. He's going to find it in the form of an Aegis getting popped. And now the Weaver getting a bit overeager. Has to time-lapse back towards safety. Iceberg still looking for that fight. He might come out of the trees, but Pycat armlet toggling for all he's worth, trying to bait that bear in.
Hey, Weaver.
Want some honey? Want some honey? Yeah, bear. But they will in the end up disengaging. So they lose the Aegis, they lose the Slardar. They get 2 though, and again the Shadow Fiend dying. He's only at 18 souls. He's just not having an easy time staying alive.
You can't even see the Iron Shell on Weaver. He just runs up to you and you think, how am I taking so much bloody damage? Ogre got ripped apart there just by the Iron Shell. And Pycat TP's in aggressively. Going on Iceberg, but I'm not going to find anything.
Oh god, Dendy just got glimpsed back to nothing good. Oh, this poor Shadow friend.
Yeah. He's not going to have his Dragonlance for another minute and a half or something anyway, so... Back to the jungle he goes.
Dendy is getting all too accustomed to this walk back down from the mid lane. Poor guy.
Just keep on going.
But yeah, for Team Spirit, kind of looking at their overall game plan here. So initial objective was just run at the Shadow Fiend early, pressure him a lot, and get to the mid game. Take Roshan. I think the next big step, farming FNG's Blink Dagger.
I think RMN might die top. BZZ. Has the trap been set?
Oh, nice stun. But do they have the follow-up?
Looks like they might do. One more hit. Oh, Infest. Barely had him.
That was with the Dragonlance pickup. So a crucial kill for Navi. That's something they need to get a little more of, because once that Blink comes out from Slardar, next round of aggression will be there. Phobos, though, caught off on an island here, will be punished and picked off as FNG comes in a bit late. Now the Troll Trap. It is that Dominator build. Just initially here on the Darkseer, now going to be going back for a mech.
Yeah, it's so good. The dummy allows you to kind of split push and shove waves without putting your hero into danger.
Well, unless you want to. In this case, Dendy, though, trying to rev up the Requiem, but the Static Storm gets dropped. That's going to prevent things. Thanks, score. Now trying to retreat, the rest of the team in a bit of trouble. A predicament developing as NaVi. Oh, there you go. They turn on the Shadow Fiend. They'll pop him like a pinata, turning on the General. Iceberg trying to pound down this bat, but he's hard to chase. BZZ.
Time lapse in one.
And he's not going to use it just yet. He would be quite low if he time-lapsed.
Oh, my God.
And now baits him. Goes the other direction, down to the south. Doesn't have a TP. Scrolly winds his way through the trees.
Where's he going?
But Leshrac has the vision. The Flame Break's going to connect, and BZZ is not perfect this day. He will go down too. 4 kills, Navi. Team fighting their way back into it.
4 for 1. NaVi, I mean, Dendy managed to get out of the Static Storm, launch out his Requiem, got a couple of good raises down, and that was Slardar as well as Disruptor pretty much dead and out of the fight. Then the rest of Spirit filter in, but Pycat had arrived. He's got his armlet, he's got this Blightstone, and he is shredding people. He's almost this invisible force. They're not focusing on Pycat. They don't realize he's in this team fight because they're so set on killing Dendy. Just kill Dendy, that's all they want to do. And the Lifestealer is just running rampant in their backlines.
Yeah, I do think Dendy needs to go, like, pure like defensive tank build. You can't go for anything too greedy.
Hurricane Pike, BKB, Lincoln Sphere, Butterfly Heart.
Like I have Scotty, perhaps Manta, pretty good against the Slardar, but
Yeah.
you can't get greedy with your items here. They are going to be running at you all game. Getting a Shadow Blade will not save you, nor will a Blink Dagger. If they amp you, they can just glimpse you back. They can carry dust on any of these initiators and catch you off guard or potentially be dropping sentries. So
Yeah, I think BKB Butterfly then Scud is probably going to be the best option here. Ursa never wants to buy an MKB. He kind of just wants to go into the Aghanim Scepter, Abyssal Blade, and he can get very slot starved. With the Helm of the Dominator especially, your slots start to run out very quickly in that stash, in that inventory.
Spirit really do need this FNG Blink though. Ursa has his, and right now is the stage of the game where you really want to just be jumping on the Shadow Fiend or one of these squishy supports and finding easy kills. So until they have that, NaVi will have the initiation advantage.
NaVi have actually swung a 3k net worth lead. They've done reasonably well here to maybe equalize this game, but it's they're not out of the woods yet by any means. This is where Team Spirit have one of their biggest spikes now. The mech is it's back in the base. I thought DK Phobos would be joining his team with the mech, but NaVi go in.
They do go in, but the quick glimpse back, and Fest Lifestealer popping out and now trying to turn and run away. The Swarm allows the disengage. That's where the drums first makes a lot of sense. But now he's going to find the follow-up blast. So onto the Weaver, who gets completely chain stunned, brought down, stuck around a bit too long. Might be able to kill a Vangscore as well. Pycat mauling him. Ooh, close call. But Vangscore will slip away. The Dino makes it home to safety.
I was looking at that from the Dire team and thinking, right, this is where they're super strong. They've got the 4 heroes top, Darkseer's on his way. He must have mech, right? But it was back in base, back in his stash, and he couldn't get it out to himself on time. And that's why Team Spirit kind of realized, okay, we don't have our big team fight hero with our one team fight item. It's time to retreat. But getting caught on the runaway there by General's Batrider is always great. Great idea to jump in and find that one target.
Uh-oh, Lifestealer has a Desolator now. This could be a bad time for Spirit to try to take a fight. NaVi just hitting big item timings. As you mentioned, the net worth really has swung. Now, General, we've seen the Blink in action. The Deso comes out. Aside from that, Shadow Fiend already having picked up the Dragon Lance, now well on his way to the BKB.
Leshrak's Buckler is actually very important.
Yes.
It honestly, it's so weird to think about it, but just that Buckler on Leshrak, allows him to maybe survive through the Weaver swarming and right-clicking him, the minus armor from Slardar, and obviously physical attacks out from Iceberg's Ursa. But it's one of those cool little, casual bucklers, the puppy special, now RMN following suit.
Yeah, so NaVi with all these pickups and, like the Buckler that you were talking about, the Shadow Fiend going for BKB, their team fight does level up a lot, and it's more stage of the game for Spirit where they're looking for pickoffs, they're looking to spread the map. Not as good in the 5-man scenario. Yeah, they have the Darkseer mech, but it's still only a level 1 wall. He doesn't have a blink to reliably set it up. They did just grab a Slardar blink, but aside from that, they're very single target focused. So they'll be looking to spread the map. NaVi more looking for the group up and team fight style as they make that move towards the top lane.
I have vision over them. Disruptor gets just far enough away. General's still waiting though with the Ogre next to him. Team Spirit have realized what's going on, and like you said, they're just going to try and split around a little bit more. With Slardar Blink, they might want to think about a smoke. He does have a DD as well, but they don't have any intel on where NaVi are, so actually smoking up blind into the enemy side of the map, it's such a risky proposition that they're going to go for it anyway. They've got no observer wards. They try to scan in their own jungle, maybe expecting NaVi to be sitting there, but look at the big purple circle drawn by RMN saying, guys, they're here somewhere. Roshan could be respawning now. In fact, will be 2.5 minutes. But Spirit wasting their time.
Yeah, NaVi, though, to be fair, not exactly farming a whole lot right now. They're sitting back very defensively as well, but it doesn't seem the smoke will amount to too much. It's about to wear off. Roshan could have respawned. This is like the earliest possible time. And now NaVi's turn for a smoke. They know the Rosh is the big objective here. Spirit could be sneaking it.
Look at all these Helm of the Dominator creeps. Just what's going on? It's a Hellbear and an Ogre.
Yeah, they went for the double Dominator strat. A lot of scouting tools here. As you mentioned, good split push.
I don't see anything.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Spooky for both teams. No one knows where anyone is. The only thing that both teams know is that bottom lane's getting pushed in and no one's defending it. So maybe that's a one-up for Team Spirit, realizing, right, they aren't farming, they aren't holding their lanes, so we can do a little bit of work towards the mid, maybe sit behind the Slardar and just move down into the Radiant jungle because they're definitely not in there.
Just waiting for that one Batrider pick. You get the one lasso kill, and suddenly you're able to take a tower with the Bloodlusted Shadow Fiend, potentially steal the Roshan away. Spirit are very wary of that fact, so they see Na'Vi Heroes top. They're going to avoid the fight. They go to the bottom side. And Dendi will grab this tier 2, essentially for free.
I honestly think if General Blink initiates onto anyone, it forces a full 5v5. Team Spirit are in this position where if any one of them gets jumped, they have to try and save them, or they have to try and force a fight around them, and force Na'Vi to get vacuum walled into static stormed and be in a position where they kind of concave around the Bat Lasso, right, to kill off that one target.
Well, they'll grab the tower. Still the Weaver Lincoln's a ways off, but to me, like, that Weaver Lincoln's really kind of tells the tale for Spirit as far as how they want to approach the mid game. They're looking very much to split push,
slow things down,
to avoid big team fights. Not really going to be their strong suit for probably the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. Come late game, I think they're fine in those larger scale engagements, but still Shadow Fiend is, with a BKB 10-second duration, is probably at his prime right now as far as overall team fight impact. And I hear you really want to stay away from.
It's pretty important for both teams to look for the Abyssal Blades.
They found him with a scan.
Ooh.
This could be big. They're actually smoking now. So Na'Vi know they were in the area.
No Firefly though, it's about to expire.
The General in a really good position to reveal this and just jump away. And they're actually going to try and steal this Roshan. Will Spirit get there in time? They have the high ground.
This is so risky.
Moving in, they're going to stun Ursa to start things off of Phobos with a big blink reveal. The Static Storm gets layered right around the area. It will completely control Pycat, bring him down, but Dendi quickly able to unwind with the Requiem, finds one, looking for a second, will lay out Iceberg, and now potentially a third hero as well. 3 Na'Vi heroes hitting the deck. The Ursa, though, down, and after the buyback, Team Spirit scattering a little. Dendi and Pycat standing strong in the pit with Pycat rejoining the fray. They'll try to bring this Roshan down, but they're not ready to give this up for free. FNG can engage into this. They're lacking the Ursa, though, so they're heavy hitter to deal with Pycat, not on the field.
BZZ on the back, though.
Trying for that opening. FNG gets the crush. Pycat, it could be a dieback for him. He gets inside. Dendi says, "Get me out of here, Dendimon." Pop out at the shrine. The glimpse back comes Pycat. Tried to get a little greedy with that pop out for the heal.
Oh, my God.
Oh, he barely lives.
What's happening?
Batrider coming in. Is he bringing any sort of regen? Yeah, he's brought a salve out. Pycat with the free fountain trip. General to the rescue.
They need this Roshan now, like desperately need it. I don't know if Pycat wants to go in and hit it because they want the fight to start. And General, Lasso's back one, but FNG's there with a crush, and now Iron Shell burning through them. DK Phobos, what are you doing? Back and back into the kinetic field, and this is time to retreat for Na'Vi, I think. Oh, BZZ, he is actually stunned, and the damage from Leshrac might be enough to finish him off. BZZ dropping lower and lower, but he's got the Shikuchi. Slips himself back away from the trees.
Yeah, they knew there was no static storm there. Darkseer wall on cooldown. Ursa only just respawning, so really good time for Na'Vi to fight.
The awkward dance around Roshan ends up with a buyback, 3 team fights, and Team Spirit losing out on Aegis. But I guess, all things said and done, that buyback from Pycat really worked out for them.
That was really close to being a disaster, but
yeah.
Yeah, Pycat survives there. Na'Vi gets the Aegis, and now can siege very effectively with the Shadow Fiend Hurricane Pike, as well as Pycat able to sit up front. You mentioned needing bashers this game for both teams. Ursa, Lifestealer really want that to be able to win the 1v1 man fights, and looks like Pycat going to get his first. As Ursa is not going for an early basher, he'll be going Aghanims. A pretty good tool to deal with the Batrider initiation and just be a very tanky force on the front lines.
Yeah, I think he desperately needs it, like you said, with the Lasso, but also with, you know, Bashers and the Abyssal Blade from Pycat will be coming out. Just negate that, make sure that you're able to stick on a target and do some damage. But maybe even with this Abyssal or with the Basher, Pycat will look to kill off someone else in the backlines. You know, Weaver yet to get Lincoln. Oh, is it on the courier? Oh, yeah, he's got it now. BZZ actually finishes it at this point, but I was going to say maybe the Weaver or the Darkseer, because Darkseer is honestly the big hero for Team Spirit now. Mech, Blink, Vac, Wall, he is Team Spirit's team fight.
Well, they wanted that like 3-hero Vacuum, Static Storm, Kinetic Field combo. Unfortunately, they only got the lifestealer, and he had buybacks, so you look back at that last fight, if he manages to catch 2-3 heroes, I think they win the fight outright, and Na'Vi either don't buy back or have to blow 2 or 3 if they had them to potentially contest the Roche, but it's not a reliable combo, you know? Like, if lifestealer just quickly rages, he's going to be able to turn the fight around. There's no sign of a disruptor Ags, not even remotely close yet to get a single component. Pycat also has Aegis now, so he has a second life, and Dendi has BKB, so it's really tough to rely on that combo.
And Hurricane Pike as well, and there's like no BKBs on the Dire side, right? It's just the Lincolns on the Weaver, but Dendi's next item's the kind of interesting one, deciding to go for the Assault Cuirass. So,
yeah, they want to be able to take buildings here,
yeah.
And do now have the level 4 Diabolic Edict. He doesn't max the Lightning Storm fully, goes back for Edict, so they have some extra siege, and with that and the AC, towers are going to melt if Na'Vi win fights, and they're looking for one now.
I didn't even think of AC, you know, I wanted Butterfly for Dendi, but I really like this.
Yeah, but still a lot of durability against physical damage, which Spirit are pretty, I wouldn't say all in on, but very predominantly reliant on. Is FNG will find General, looking for a pickup. There's the counter initiation though. RMN coming in with the stun. The Static Storm gets layered on top of it all. Kinetic Field there, but nobody really caged within. As Pycat mauling the Disruptor will find the quick kill with the Infest at the end to polish it off, and now Na'Vi should be able to take this tower.
And they might even be able to go high ground here. That's Vacuum Wall gone, no Static Storm. Ursa can't really do this. He can't clear waves, and that's something Spirit are really severely lacking.
And they didn't really commit anything. They actually didn't even get the lasso off of that fight. So Na'Vi have the BKB on Dendi. They have the lasso.
There's no glyph. This is a disaster for Team Spirit.
Yeah, a couple of magnificent fights from Spirit, who do have the Agsnon Iceberg, so not a great lasso target. But hey, he's not defending buildings. He's going to try to make his move in. Pycat focusing him, gets multi-gas. The General now letting the lasso go after he sees the Ursa dropping low. They'll finish him off. Pycat able to work together with Dendi in tandem to bring FNG low to finish off and score. One more auto tech. Can't quite do it, but they got the melee. Na'Vi completely flipping the script. After a couple of really bad fights from Spirit, they find themselves taking a lane of Rax and potentially more.
Like, honestly, that buyback from Pycat around the Roche Pit literally could have been game losing, but it's been game winning. Such a tight window for Na'Vi, and now with one lane completely destroyed, they can go back and say, you know what, shrines are ours, more gold to line our pockets. Now we can start affording defensive items on this Ogre and this Leshrac, you know, Glimmercape, Force Staff. It's going to be what looks like a Solar Crest there as Biver picks that one up with the Medallion, and Yule Scepter's done for the Lesh. So they have ways of disengaging and retreating, and also ways to pop that Lincoln Sphere over on the Weaver and make sure General can get the lasso on him. I've got to say though, this BZZ Weaver, sure enough, he farmed decently. Lane wasn't amazing for him because of the Ogre and the Bat Rider up at top lane, but it doesn't feel like he's had that much impact. He's had a couple of kills on supports, but he seems to die so quickly in these team fights.
Yeah, even with the Lincolns, you know, there's a lot of ways to pop it, and then a follow-up Lesh stun, Ogre stun,
Edict and Pulse Nova just, you know...
and Shadow Fiend just rips them apart with all the... or the Lifestealer with all the physical damage they bring to bear at this point. So, he can't really fence in and out of the fights as he would like, and plus Na'Vi are 5-manning. That's not really where Weaver excels. Weaver wants these small isolated skirmishes, but hold that thought, because here comes Team Spirit looking for the vacuum. Dendi gets caught, but he's able to BKB immediately. Static Storm drop down, but they just walk away from it, at least for the time being. The Requiem over the top is Pycat. Surges in, Iceberg running for dear life. Fuzzy Wuzzy on full retreat mode. Na'Vi run him down, they'll kill off the bear. They look for a fourth hero. It might well be Mr. BZZ. Lincoln's now broken, they get the lasso, the fourth kill of the fight. And Spirit completely on their heels. One lane of Rax down, potentially two at this point.
It really has been a story of this game. Everything gets dumped onto Dendi, right? You know, Static Storm, Wall, the Swarm, everything onto Dendi, and then Pycat just quietly walks into the middle of Team Spirit's team and chomps them down in like 2 or 3 hits.
It's not a reliable initiation because he just BKBs and turns the fight around.
Yeah.
They unfortunately have not found an initiation where FNG is able to like blink crush him to start the fight. In quite some time we haven't seen that type of jump since like the 10 to 15 minute mark.
Might look to jump on RMN, but General holds the line. Blink, Force, and Gem. As Vanscore considers glimpsing someone back, but Pycat just rages and walks it all off, and that's Megas. 30 minutes in. I don't think Spirit have any way to deal with this.
Looking for the last stand fight at this point. Spirit will do what they can, but it's not a whole lot. FNG gets stunned as he jumps in. He dies immediately. Iceberg desperately trying to kill off Dendy, but it just doesn't seem possible. Iceberg stands next to Pycat, can't withstand the Lifestealer punishment. Shadow Fiend also laying into him. They'll find the kill there, and insta-GG. NaVi just too strong a team fight down the stretch and putting themselves at a 1-0 advantage in this best of 3. It could be a long day for them. If they win this series, they then have to go on to play Empire and then VP waits as the final boss in the grand finals. Yeah, I still look at the way the game developed. Spirit had a really good Roshan lineup. They dominated the lanes as you
Ten seconds.
Brood mother.
really annoying. I don't think NaVi are very well equipped to deal with this at all.
I mean, they have nothing, right?
Yeah, like who do you actually put against the Brood? You don't have a Darkseer, you don't have an Axe, you don't have a Tidehunter.
Safe lane the SF and the Leshrac or something and just max raises to kill off Spiderlings?
But
you can't.
It's not going to work because Shadow Fiend needs levels. No, I think they're in a lot of trouble. Then again, I said that last game, and NaVi somehow salvaged it with their mid-game team fighting, but they also kept some map control. Yeah, they gave up kills, but they still had towers, whereas I think if you give up those kills early, you're losing all your towers to Broodmother this time around.
Ah, they've swapped. Okay, Pycat's playing the Lesh now. That's a nice adjustment, I guess. You can just go for the like Lightning Storm and clear out Spiderlings. And I was going to say I've seen some weird.
I think they were planning on a carry Ven.
Yeah, for sure.
Until they saw the Brood pick. So I'm pretty sure this is a direct response to the Brood.
Yeah, I agree. Go into matchups against Brood and be expected to lose. Like there was a Clock versus Brood 1v1 matchup, and pretty much everyone said that the Clockwork was going to lose just because Brood can spam him out of lane, the webs are going to give the Brood regen, and the Clockwork doesn't have any way to deal with it. And I can't remember who it was, but they went Poor Man Shield Clock and just maxed Rocket and killed Spiderlings over and over again, and it was the most farmed Clockwork I have ever seen. You know, pro players, they will find a way, some way, to deal with Broodmother, no matter how unconventional it is. So Pycat Dust on the one-roll Lash, fair enough.
Yeah, killing her early obviously is really nice, and they definitely can kill Brood if they catch her, especially in the early laning stage. They've got 3 stuns, they have Dust, they start with a single sentry here in Armin, so killing the Brood early is certainly possible. A farm Lesh can deal with the Spiderlings very well come mid-game. It's like that 0 to 10 minute mark before he gets tanky and farm where you do, I think, worry a bit more. But if they can get through the laning stage without giving up too much territory to Brood, I think they'll actually be in good shape come mid game. So with the Lesh core swap, I like Navi's chances of dealing with this a lot better.
Am I missing something? Where's Brood's second web?
30 seconds to battle.
Did he just place that one? I think he
Yeah.
just placed that one.
Yeah, but I mean, where's the second one? Because you meant to have 2 webs, right?
Oh, he's going to place it, right? Did he already? You only start with the one.
Oh, you
charge,
start
don't
with one charge.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not a Brood player.
Me neither. This hero's been out for so long.
Yeah, I think he's going to plant it now.
Okay. Oh yeah, you start with one charge.
The battle
I'm dumb.
begins.
It's okay. We can be dumb together.
DK Phobos is the Brood player. Now he has 2 webs. I'm just thinking back to the days when, you know, you used to start off Brood Mother, run to a lane, plant the web, then TP to the lane and, you know, fake out your opponents.
So
But no more.
So all flame Brood. I'm not really too often you see anything else. But I think we saw Wings run like a crazy mid Brood one time. But yeah, so Navi expect these lanes. They know the Brood is coming. They do have a ward for her.
Yeah, like C9 runs the mid Brood, but that's just a Baby Knight special. That's like completely out of the ordinary.
See, the thing about the Brood though is now it puts Dendi in a really tough spot, right? Because
Actually killing Brood. DK Phobos is dead, actually.
oh,
The Sentry into Dust into triple stun from Navi.
so they get the kill. The thing is though, like she can die once, and if they just leave this lane, she's still gonna have a great time against the Leshrac. So they want to help Dendi mid, but they have to be careful not to overcommit to helping him. Where Spirit, they know as long as Navi's busy tri-laning to deal with the Brood, they can make these aggressive plays on Dendi, and they're doing it now. FNG moving into position. He's got the cogs. I don't know if they can actually dive this though. They're gonna try for it with the Astro, but FNG tanking tower shots. Here we go. Sets up on Dendi. Won't quite kill him, although he gets pushed out of the cogs. He's going to take a lot of damage from this, but now FNG
tower aggro.
tanking that tower. Maybe a bit overzealous.
Dendi was like 7 mana away from being able to take that kill, I think, with a 3rd raise. But
Uh-oh. Dendi got a south cancel, though, so his lane got a lot harder. Like, even though Clockwork not having a great time, he can go back to well and heal up. Dendi may have to hit the shrine very early.
yeah, looks like he will. And like you said, Broodmother just been lurking around waiting, making sure she doesn't die, but loses a sentry straight away there. De-warded out by Navi.
So
Struggle a little bit.
they are sticking to the full tri-lane to deal with the Brood. We'll see how much Dendi struggles. He's doing really well in terms of CS, all things considered, though. 6-2 right now, matching the OD. That is an excellent start for him.
Yeah, with the 2 levels in raise, he's able to clear out these creep waves and at least get his bottle at a reasonable time. It's going to be about 2.5, maybe 2 minutes 45 when he gets that. A bit delayed, but like you said, with the pressure that he's been under, it's still reasonably good start for Dendi. While General up on top lane, he's not doing too poorly. 3 and 4. He's been shoved back by Dazzle and Troll a couple of times, but he's denying farm from BZZ, and he'll be keeping this tower safe up on the top lane. FNG Invis. He's looking for General, but look at the patience from this man. The Enigma just sits behind the tier 1, waiting for the creep wave to come in.
He's about to get ganked, though. FNG sneaking around from the side. And General with no TP. I don't think they can really help him. They're going to try to, but this is going to free things up elsewhere. Biver coming into the fray, but he might get punished, though. FNG moving in with the battery assault, wants to dive this quite a bit. BZZ also in pursuit, tanking tower shots.
That's mega awkward.
Radiant
The
structure.
salve cancelled? Wait, no, never mind, it's a tower hit.
No, it's a tower.
Enigma didn't get the shot off. Mega awkward when the Slardar TP's into your cogs and you're kind of trapped in there with him. Enigma just on the outside. I don't lose out on too much.
It's going to free things up a bit here for DK Phobos, though, bottom. But they have to get something out of the Brood. So right now, Phobos, only 7 CS, will be looking to play catch-up here. And Biver looking to secure this 4-minute rune, I imagine. Heads up towards top. Maybe contest these poles a bit. But this is the window where Phobos has to get a lot done. If they're gonna only run a dual lane, he needs to be getting a lot of experience, pressuring the Leshrac, because you let the Leshrac get to like level 7 area, get his first couple items, and suddenly he's not really afraid of being doped by Spiderlings any longer.
He can definitely die though if RMN comes down to bottom lane again to look for that kill, but FNG scouts the Venge. Like, a couple of stuns chained up from RMN and Pycat means Phobos dies very quickly, and we finally see what so the 2 points in Lightning Storm, he was holding onto those skill points. I was kind of wondering if he goes for the Edict, but now he's seeing the Broodlings start to mass up from... That's Broodmother. Edict doesn't really do that much.
Yeah, Edict's worthless against the Spiderlings. If you catch the Brood itself on her own, it can be nice, but not worth the risk.
Rarely going to happen.
Yeah. It does have an early pair of Arcane Boots, though, and that will help a lot.
Under attack.
You can see FNG hanging out near the bottom lane. Actually, they're also going to move in Vank Score. They want to make a play with this heal bomb. Our men caged and in a lot of trouble. Yeah,
FNG?
Dead Clockwork, but maybe a Dead Venge as well. It'll be both going down. So, honestly, trading not too bad. But what you got to worry about is this army of Spiderlings massing up and then an additional dive coming on Pycat.
Yeah, this is where the flip happens, where Broodmother suddenly becomes a massive threat. Taking out that kill power from the Vengeful Spirit helps out a lot, while Slardar tried to go in on the OD mid, but just a quick Astral onto SF meant there was no further initiation. And you're just kind of alleviating this pressure away from the Broodmother, forcing maybe RMN to switch things up and look for a gank on mid, or even kill off the Troll, because Radiant Jungle is no longer warded by NaVi. They've got no vision around this bottom third of the map. They don't see ganks coming in, they don't see Clockwork where he is.
Oh, they're smoking, and the smoke going to be broken by FNG. Great positioning. And they know he's up there, but they can't really do much about it.
It's like he hasn't seen them, but they know where he is, and they can't go any further forward. Holding his ground. He's just not doing anything. I mean, the trouble is, you know, like we're kind of saying in the draft, Slardar's going to get his levels, he's going to get his farm somehow, while Clockwork, he's not going to get level 3 this way. Killed off by the SF.
Oh, thank you for the souls, says Dendy. And now 30 souls, 24 and 13 mid, just right neck and neck with the OD. He's got to be happy about that. Things going quite well for NaVi, I would say, considering the last pick Brood, and I love the adjustment putting Lesh into a core role. He does have to walk home and heal up, replenish his mana stores. And this is giving a little more room for DK Phobos to breathe, but...
A much easier laning stage than the previous game, right?
Yeah.
But this is where Brood starts to spam webs into the jungle, behind the tower, starts cutting your waves, starts farming jungle camps, and really, you know, leapfrogs ahead of the opponents.
Looks like they're trying to set up a gank here on BZZ. Viver gonna dive this one, and they will catch that troll out. Crush comes through, Malefice too. Do they have to commit the Black Hole? I think with the follow-up stun from Venge, they should be fine. Actually low on mana though, and now the heal comes in. General hesitating, there's the Crush. I still don't think they have the damage for the skill just yet. He's so damn tanky, he's gonna turn around. BZZ threatening to go back in on General, and they end up holding the hole there.
They know with the Dazzle behind the grave is likely to come out, very nearly kill off the troll, but General holds the Black Hole. Maybe FNG will give up his life. Not sure why he walked into the Eidolons, but a few more hits, not quite enough. Dazzle heals him back.
So NaVi able to force quite a few Spirit Heroes either back or low. And Pycat, now that he's level 7, he's maxed the Split Earth. He has the point in Pulse Nova. He's rushing his way towards a Force Staff, it looks like, after the casual Vitality Booster. The Brood is just not getting much done. Like, they didn't get too much pressure early when Lesh is very frail. The tri-lanes paid off. Dendy held his own without really any help from the team. The Enigma didn't CS too much, but he also didn't die. And they're in good shape now. So Phobos actually the one being pursued. He's going to have to web his way to the south. Pycat popping the Pulse Nova to clear out some creeps. Won't quite find the Brood.
And was very nearly next to that Broodmother to cancel that kind of free pathing over the trees, and maybe that would have killed him.
Things are looking quite good for NaVi. They're dealing with the Brood. They're actually pushing with the Enigma Venge. Dendy's farming, and come mid-game, their push is really scary. Though, as I say, that Pycat, perhaps a bit overzealous, moves forward and tanks a lot of damage. Brood moving back into position. Does have another spawn Spiderlings, but...
Great sentry placement by NaVi. They've got 2 there already, so Pycat knew he had a path back to safety between the Slardar and the Venge. Things will start getting scary, though, for NaVi when this Broodmother picks up that Orchid. That silence over onto someone like a Leshrac or the Enigma. You're not going to want to buy BKBs early. Maybe like Yule Scepter or something like that would be good for Pycat later on. But you know, you mentioned the Force Staff there up against the Clockwork is a necessity. Because FNG with a hook shot into Cogs, trapping a Lesh in, that's just an instant death.
Yeah, but he's going to have a fast force at this rate. He's actually the leader in net worth. He's been fed a lot of spider lanes.
Changed his plan. He's going into the Bloodstone.
Okay. I mean, he's farming well enough.
It's going to be a fast one.
Goes for the solo smoke.
Classic.
And I think they just want to use the black hole, get a kill here, ideally on the troll. And it looks like they might just be able to do it. They saw BZZ move in this area. General now going to scout him out.
The hunter becomes the hunted.
Should be an easy kill. No black
Oh,
hole
is this
just
going to
yet.
be a big black hole, actually?
Oh, he didn't cancel his TP. FNG walking right into the split earth. That's a 2 for the price of 1 special for NaVi.
FNG.
All right. Yeah, it's Bloodstone time. He's going to have like a sub 15-minute Bloodstone at this rate for sure.
It's gonna be like a 12-minute Bloodstone or something for PyCat because this tower top lane's gonna drop as well, right? They'll have Eidolons, they've got Edict in 7 seconds, Tier 1's forfeit. And in the meantime, bottom lane, DK Phobos isn't getting anything done. Dendi actually moves into the bot lane to clear out some spiderlings. And sure, they've got Dazzle and Brood here with a heal bomb, but they've got no targets to go on.
It's looking really bad for Spirit now, because come mid-game, you've got a farm Leshrac who can easily do a spider lane. Shadow Fiend who, yeah, is pretty squishy early to mid, but once he has the level 4 raises, he's got the raindrops, the Achille, he gets quite a bit tankier. He can also clear out spider lanes very easily. So now 2 of these heroes can deal with them. In the mid-game, you're going to get hunted to death by Amplify damage from the Slardar. Really, your options are limited as a Brood, and then you're basically fighting 4v5. So things are looking very bad for Spirit now with this last-second draft adjustment, putting the Lesh into a core role when he's always a support for RMN.
Yeah, one thing to look forward to, though, is Team Spirit will have that Midas OD ramping up pretty nicely into the Hurricane Pike, into the Blink and the BKB, as well as the Battle Trance Troll, so work towards. But Spirit don't have, like, the best Roshing lineup. They've got Dazzle Troll that can try and punch into it, but I think NaVi will likely be the ones to take the first Aegis in this game.
Yeah, you're talking about Roche for Spirit, but they're not looking like they'll have much map control to contest that Roche, and they're about to lose their Tier 1 mid. That's both of their most crucial Roche towers down, and the deny attempted mid by Iceberg. Not going to get it, though. Last
Bot
hit
lane
to Dendi.
PyCat.
This is a dangerous hero to dive, though. He's very tanky. They got to be careful not to feed these spiderlings.
A couple die.
But they're running, right? They're not spreading their legs and diving into your jungle. They're scurrying away to safety, which in and of itself is kind of a win for NaVi. As they smoke, they're gonna head on to Iceberg mid. Might lose some efficiency here as that Midas is coming off cooldown soon. There's the swap into the Crush, into the Malefice, and won't even get a self-astral off.
That was honestly great chaining. I was wondering if they had the ability to chain stun him before he can astral. Maybe with a TP from Dazzle coming into Grave, there's an opportunity there for Spirit to save their OD. But the swap into Malefice and Crush, and then Magic Missile to follow through was perfect from them. Troll. He's graved up, but where does he go? Where does he run? He's just chain stunned into Oblivion, and one more hit is all they need to finish him off, and that's it. The Pulse Nova finds it. While in the backline, Vansko was being chased by Biver. Well, Dendi just raising them down. That's 3 for nothing.
Oh, now
they're clearing up.
Styling on Spirit. This is going to be a quick series and maybe shorten the overall CIS qualifiers final day as they still have the Black Hole cooling down, the mech about to come out for the Enigma. The Bloodstone already complete for PyCat at only 12.5 minutes into the game. Shadowblade nearly done for Dendi. RMN already got his level 6, so he's happy as a clam. The Blink Dagger suit for Slardar. Everything NaVi needs, and then some. Coming their way,
Yeah.
6,000 gold lead.
I just opened that as well, and I was like,
5,000 experience lead. And to make matters worse, Spirit, they're not even like really angling for the late game. They have that one Midas on OD, but it's an Orchid Broodmother. Orchid under construction, not done yet. Yeah, he gets the Tier 1 bottom, but that's kind of expected. Gareth, the NaVi are just firing on all cylinders now.
mech for general as well. Honestly, there's nothing stopping them from just grouping up as 5. Team Spirit, what does their team fight consist of? A hook shot?
And it's a support clock. He just dies.
There's no blade mail, no force staff. The OD needs to, come in and out of team fights, gain intelligence, and then come through with the ultimate, which he's not even skilled up yet, understandably, really.
And more importantly, when you hook in, there's a swap out, there's a force out, there's a mech to heal whoever's trapped there.
Like these were Team Spirit heroes that were meant to smash their lanes and snowball into, taking Roshan, kind of similar to Game 1.
Uh-oh.
Did he just hookshot a creep?
Barely missing there, was aiming for Biver, but I don't know if he wanted to hit that hook. Might have died as RMN and General combining here in the jungle, going to find BZZ. They'll pick him off as well. Navi collecting yet another kill. You can see Dendi with his shadow.
Oh,
blade.
hello.
Oh, might get caught though, Phobos. Debuting the Orchid. This is a big dive though. I don't think he can kill the Shadow Fiend in time. He's going to try for it. Not quite enough damage now. The turnaround comes. They heal into that black hole, forcing Denny back, but the crush onto the Dazzle could kill him off before he gets the Self-Grave. Will barely manage to secure it. Goes for the TP out. Will we get a bash? Doesn't have the point in it yet. Ends up making it out, but at the expense of his Brood. Not so lucky.
Great decision making from Slardar. His Crush was coming off cooldown and could have crushed the Dazzle at the very end of that TP, but holds it for the Broodmother, realizing it's the bigger kill. Just let the Dazzle self-grave and TP out, go for the Brood, kill her off, and stop. You know, what little momentum Spirit has is coming from the Broodmother, building into Orchid, looking for, you know, phase boots and BKB and AC and these items which will allow them to team fight at the very least. But if she's not able to farm and keep pressure on these lanes, that momentum just disappears completely. And now a blink for Slardar. This initiation from Navi just gets stronger and stronger.
They're going for another kill on the troll. BZZ off way too far. Say hello to Dendi. Kaboom! Finds him with the Requiem. Does get the bash, but he's going to need like 15 more to even have a chance at a kill. So
Only 15?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not looking great right now for Spirit.
But yeah, this was a Team Spirit draft that was meant to, like, slaughter lanes. Troll's meant to own his lane. Odie's meant to own his lane, with the Dazzle and the Clockwork roaming, and the Broodmother off lane.
Well, that was the thing, though. Like, we looked at the first couple picks, we're like, are they going to go for a push strat? You know, they've got the Dazzle, they have the Troll. They could go, you know, into a heavy 5-man pushing lineup. But they went a totally different direction. They went for the Clockwork, they went for the Brood. More of a, like, spread the map, win your lane style draft, and when they didn't win their lanes, they didn't really have a great plan B.
They do pick up pace. Like, it's not just win your lanes and snowball and try and win in the first 30 minutes. They can pick up pace once they start getting items up, and obviously the 4-staff now in OD is kind of a showcase of how well that Midas has done for him. 16 minutes in, does have an item to his name, but if the Troll isn't able to farm and keep up pace with anyone else on the enemy team, like, you look at his net worth now, he's 1,000 behind the Enigma, he's a good 2,000 behind anyone else, and then you've got Dendi and Pycat sitting on 8k at the top.
It's a hook bottom, just narrowly missing on Dendi. The luck just not going their way, but Iceberg gonna dive Dendi deep behind his tier 2 tower, desperate to get a kill on the board. Will find that kill, and now maybe gonna look for more, though. Pycat is very tanky with the Bloodstone and the 4-staff, so he'll make it out to safety. Spirit suddenly 5-man converging bottom. That's the type of kill they desperately need to get back in this game, and I think, to your point, they do have pretty good late game. You've got OD Troll. I mean, Brood not the best late game hero just because she doesn't really team fight that well, but does do a lot of damage and can solo kill heroes pretty effectively with the right item. So not entirely out of it yet, but they're going to need a lot more of that if they want to come back.
Yeah, and in that fight there, they would have really loved to kill off Pycat. You know, killing Dendi is a decent enough shout. You remove half his souls, you killed him off. The 3 times kill streak is nice to take. But if you could have killed off Pycat there and taken his 5-kill streak and Bloodstone charges, would have been a huge kind of game stopper and delay here. But Pycat's still caught on bottom lane. He's walked into the 3 of them.
Speak of the devil.
Might get the kill anyway. Nice deny.
It is denied, so they're a bit limited there. Hookshot cooling down, though. FNG going to dive for another one. Might be able to find General. There's the hook. It's a direct connection. Then the cogs to follow up. Navi getting sloppy, starting to hemorrhage kills, and this bottom lane is a no-go zone, Gareth, at least for this stage. Like, they do not have the ability to walk here and come out safely. Now, that said, Navi able to make the most of this. They'll go in Roche. So they grab an Aegis. I mean, I think that's certainly worth the Enigma kill. Probably not Pycat dying as well, but this time around he'll have the Aegis to work with.
Yeah, ever since Brood got like level 7 or 8, that bottom lane just been like, no, don't go in there. There's webs everywhere in the jungle and all across that bottom lane.
It's a pretty big drop in the net worth, though. Yeah, they have to be careful not to get sloppy. This is the stage of the game where Navi don't have great ways to TP out safely. Like, you can maybe force out of the cogs, but if you don't have that force available for whatever reason, you're probably dead as the Shadow Fiend.
Like, their 5-man is so massively superior. Oh, Slardar?
Well, you say that, but they're not 5-manning right now. Is Viver going to go down to the soul burn from the Orchid? Another big pick for his Spirit. I'm really surprised Navi keep on going here. Guys, don't go. don't step here. It's not safe, but FNG overextends. He'll get picked off. And Spirit will have to back away, at least for the time being. And if you're going to go bottom, you need to do it with the whole team. And that's what they're trying. He charges in. He does have Aegis round 2. He'll come back soon. They have a black hole ready. Will they get the chance to use it? General trying to move back into the fray. Pycat forcing a way to safety. And now it's suddenly the OD trapped in an awkward position. He's already committed his Hurricane Pike. He's going to self-astral. And it looks like he will be going down. Requiem perfectly timed with that, as he'll be forced away.
Pycat died so quickly. That weave up on him and then the shadow wave with a couple of physical right clicks. He just went from 100 to 20% HP within a split second. Aegis.
Tower is under attack.
Who's it up on? Is that... Who had Aegis on NaVi?
The Leshrac.
Leshrac did have it, okay.
The bottom lane really should be viewed as lava by NaVi, though. Unless they're going to send 4 or 5 heroes, or at the very least, like, park the Venge behind a core. It's not safe when Spirit have 5 bottom, and you know that's because they've lost the two towers. So they really don't have the best map control. But NaVi reestablishing control at least for now, and with that reestablishing their lead. So they decided instead of sending 1 hero down at a time, we'll send all 5 hero at once. It's been a pretty quiet game for the troll though. I feel like we haven't seen really anything out of BZZ. Mostly just trying to farm the top lane. 0-4.
They just got ganked over and over again. RMN is caught. He turns to fight though. This OD from the high ground stunned up with a dazzle next to him, but RMN finds the kill before dying and doesn't even die himself. The razors come through and NaVi 3 for 1. Finally Phobos pops the Venge in the back end, but Dendy's here to clear up spider lanes with Pycat.
Oh, they got Phobos as well. Scouted out for the moment. Crush comes through. Another pickoff. That's 4 dead for NaVi. Strength in numbers for this team fight lineup, and
honestly, they're like the past 10 minutes. I've been looking at this thinking 5-man from NaVi, pretty strong. Maybe you're a bit worried about Brood split pushing, but I don't think it's a massive threat when she's gone for this Orchid build.
Yeah,
you know,
she didn't go Desolator. She didn't go Book.
Necro Book. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you don't really have to worry about the split push. Yeah, you've got the Troll ult to help amplify, but I don't think it's enough to like take a lane of Rex before NaVi can get a couple tier 2s or a tier 3 of their own. So, yeah, I agree. They should be 5-man in. It's a good adjustment by NaVi.
I mean, you just look at the Troll now. He's not going S and Y. He's realized he needs a BKB this game just to be able to do anything. He's still a fair distance away from it. And tier 2 bot lane.
Even once he gets it, though, they have Amp, they have the Venge Aura. They
SF
have,
right click.
Yeah, NaVi just have a lot of damage, period. It's not just physical or magical damage by any means, I should say.
And speaking of BKBs, there's Dendy with one of his own, so he's got 2 mobility items. Shadowblade kind of doubles up as a split push item as well if he needs it to be. And the magic community against initiations.
Troll is just not a hero, huh? Killed by 2 supports
not
again.
in this game.
Yeah, RMN does get hooked here. They're going to try and pound him down from distance with the OD, but
He can swap General in if he wants to, like if things get really hairy.
you take the casualty.
Nah, you swap General in and you black hole the 3 of them, I think.
Yeah, General has another 4-staff coming in.
Oh, nice.
This is the problem with Clockwork, is if the enemy supports get farmed, he's not very effective, and NaVi, their supports all starting to feel very farmed at this point. They've got, I think, triple 4-staff now, or yeah, triple force coming out.
Spirit have sentries, but they don't see Dendy coming in. The Pebble thrown, but the Grave is there in time from Vanscore, and he TP's out. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. With the Slaughter coming in to crush him up.
I think you go high ground now. This is the potentially lane of Rex. Spirit gonna have a tough time defending. They have no dazzle. Their deep push is very underwhelming. We talked about it towards the end of the draft that NaVi were looking like a pushing lineup, and Spirit not very well equipped to directly stop a push head-on. They try for the split, but Brood not even at the tier 3. NaVi already banging at the front door. They knock down the tower. They turn onto the melee Rex. Spirit need to muster a defense. FNG hook cooling down in 3, but he's just hooking into certain death, and while he's hesitating, BZZ is caught. Swapped, Astral defensively used, but they're going to drop the Midnight Pulse. They blow him up. Pycat just nuking him to smithereens, and now straight onto the top lane. This is looking like 2 lanes, quite possibly the game. They'll send 1 home, the Enigma, to slow down the push, and as soon as that Enigma retreats, in jumps FNG, and Vanscore says, let's think about it for a moment.
Yeah, Vanscore was still in Fountain 5-6 seconds ago, and I was wondering why he wasn't moving. I don't know if he's having a few issues. Looks like there's some lag because saved him. It was going to be a close one anyway, and maybe Troll just dies regardless because you've got these two saving mechanisms that don't move him out of position, and with Pycat just standing next to you with Pulse Nova, probably doesn't matter too much.
Oh, welcome in everybody who is joining us now as we get the CIS final day of qualifier action started. This could be the end for Team Spirit. NaVi, they came back in a crazy game one to ultimately get the 1-0 advantage, and now having Spirit on match point.
Odie doesn't have Hurricane.
And threatening for their second lane of Rax. A perfectly timed grave will keep Iceberg alive for now, but he gets stunned. Controlled, may go down anyway. That last auto tech, not quite enough damage. Barely able to slip away to safety, but still NaVi focusing on objectives. They did TP their Enigma home to slow the split push. Coming from the Broodmother, that's right. The Brood and DK Phobos, oh, barely TPs out. Almost got clipped by a Malefus. Actually committing the BKB here. That's his 10-second charge down the drain just to get home safe. He did not get a lane of Rax. So NaVi, a full lane advantage. Clean at that, and with how quickly they push Gareth, they get these lanes shoved out, they could easily just take a second, if not straight mega creeps.
DK Phobos, dude, who TPing out of one stun into another. He has to put the BKB to make sure Pycat doesn't clip him with a split earth, because that would undoubtedly have been his death as well. The fact that Dendy's nearby and he's got so much damage. He's packing a massive punch with Requiem up to level 3 and ready.
I mean, even if you do BKB, though, you could get swapped, black hold, right-clicked, amplify damage on you. You may die regardless. So that's the thing, is you need BKB this game, just for the Leshrac alone, but it's not a get-out-of-jail-free card by any means.
I have seen OD come back from situations like this before, you know, where the game goes longer and longer, gets dragged out, but usually it's when the secondary core has had at least a decent start and broken even in the game. You know, this Troll is a non-factor. 0-6-1, unfortunately for BZZ. BKB is still 1,000 gold away.
Oh, that's some next level tactics. They're trying to gank the 6th man.
The Courier?
Yeah. 6th player of Team Spirit.
The amp damage on the Courier.
Yeah, we see you, Courier. We see you. Say NaVi.
Push just continues top lane. Eidolons. Is that a DD Dendy? Not for too much longer. About 10 seconds left. Still should be enough damage with no glyph out for Spirit.
There's the Hurricane Pike. A bit of harass on the Dendy, but he'll Shadow Blade it off. Comes back in. Bear in mind, he has a BKB. He's going to be a big force in these team fights. No way to interrupt a Requiem aside from a bash or a hook shot.
They know where FNG is.
And if you're standing next to Dendy as this troll without a BKB, you're in a lot of trouble. Doesn't have it yet, about 1,000 gold short. Range racks down. NaVi straight onto the melee. This could be the second lane. Spirit just not showing any signs of a head-on engagement. And while they hesitate, Viper finds the opening. But the hook's there to counter. And FNG sacrificing his life for the cause. But how much good will it actually do? He's down immediately. And then General from behind finds two. Line him up. Knock him down. NaVi stay alive. They've got a date with Empire as they crush their way through Spirit here in game number 2.
General Black Hole's 2 full HP heroes. Dendy just rolls up and slaps them down. 1 hit each and they're gone.
Didn't even need the Requiem.
Didn't even need the Requiem. But my goodness. Again, it was one of these things where NaVi realized where their weakness was and they adapted and changed things up very, very quickly. It's kind of refreshing to see NaVi not get stuck in the same kind of rut as they have done in the past, where they're just wasn't that
5 seconds remaining.
Invoker.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Prepare for battle.
First blood!
Outrage will
30 seconds to battle.
my sort of thing.
The battle begins.
Legend from the goddess.
Flesh sustains, gold remains. You merge with the impurity.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
A gift from the goddess.
Cool. Right. No, that was me. It's good now. Dota TV audio is now on. Cloud
Thanks, Gareth.
It's my fault. Or I can blame Steam Cloud.
Wow, what is
I'm
your
not sure.
Gareth.say no to anime?
Say no to anime, dude.
Wow.
Oh, it's actually showing now?
Yeah.
That's been broken for so long. Say no to anime. It's the UK Dota mantra.
It's not drugs, dude.
Is under
Anime is drugs. General spun down, but the telekinesis doesn't hold him in place long enough, and there's no Sunstrike coming through until now. Ooh, Omni Slash catches him. In the meantime, RMN did find a kill over on Ghostic as he was trying to farm in the jungle. Off
This
lane
is one of the
off lane.
worst starts I've seen a Centaur have in a while.
Yeah, he's getting smashed. And Miposhka actually might be in trouble himself as he's moving away from the Ogre. I don't know if they've given up. They throw the scan out and they don't see where he is. General's moving across. He's given up. Expects Miposhka to have retreated, TP'd, or just simply run away.
Not worth his time. Pesky level 1 Earth Spirit.
They can maybe move in onto the Juggernaut. There's no point in crippling Fear, so killing Chappie when he's got spin up is relatively difficult unless they can punch him.
They gotta get the healing ward.
The dive comes in from General. The healing ward's hiding though and they give up.
middle tower.
No point continuing. In the meantime, RMN is caught by 3. Miposhka chases him down with illusions, but General with Biver come in to hold that line. And the roll is available in 2 seconds' time. The Dukes come through. They found another illusion and stunned it up, but oh, the roll away.
Are fortified.
Oh, the Spirit's back to safety.
Damn, what a losing usage.
Baits out with stun. Is Dendi going in on this? One raise hits, General chases. Again, Miposhka has a roll in a second. He's trying to juke it, but I'm not sure it's going to work this time. One more punch out from the Night Stalker finds it. Chappie as FaZe boots forward with a spin onto Dendi to slow him down. The TP. Oh, Dendi not quite going to get away. With
Maybe
that
if he popped the
stampede.
stick.
Is under attack.
That would have
Before
been.
the TP.
If he like switched into agi treads, popped the stick, strange treads, and then TP'd out, possibly. I think like maybe 60, 70 HP. Actually, no, probably wouldn't have done it.
Oh, there's no spin. Juggernaut, he gets it off just before the Split Earth lands, and Chappie will count his lucky stars if he escapes from this one. The TP's come through with Ghost Stick, the stomp into the double edge. They found the turnaround. The Ogre fade bolted down, and Chappie with a double kill after what looked like he would die. RMN is trying to sprint away, and I think Miposhka is going to let him.
Almost unlocked him.
Very,
Almost.
very nearly. I mean,
Well, track cast point is so long on that split earth though.
and Blade Fury was like coming off cooldown, 1 second before that Split Earth would have landed, and very close. In the meantime, Pycat has been farming top lane, and he's bought himself a Hand of Midas on the Vengeful Spirit carry. How do you feel about this, Ben? So I know you love Midas Boots of Travel, but do you
I
like
used
Midas
to.
Vengeful Spirit?
I used to like Midas. Midas I don't like so much this patch, but he's having a good time. Why not? What? But he's got it so early. He can also get the levels a lot too. I think the levels are particularly important on the bench because he's pushing with his team very often. So he's not getting solo experience from creep waves. He's not able to mute that much because SF is doing it. So those talents are really good damage. 25 attack speed, 8 all stats, and 65 damage are the typical talents. People complain about Lone Druid's talents. 55 damage. She has a slightly better one, although it is much, much later.
She does ramp up pretty nicely. General,
Dire's
No points in his ulti just yet because he's yet to get level 6. Phase Boots and Urn are ready for him, but he is struggling to find these levels. We were talking about Ghostic having a rough time in the top lane, you know, shut down, he was level 4, 6-7 minutes in, but after that one fight at bottom lane, managed to find his ulti, nearly level 8, and they're pushing tier 1 top lane. The Centaurs had a pretty miraculous comeback, honestly.
Yeah, he TP'd into that little nook. That's really what saved him. I'm not sure if they actually saw the TP there too.
Oh, General walks into 4 heroes stampeding forwards from Empire, and NaVi, the lead that they had, it's all but diminished now.
Time to play patiently.
Time to fall back and play patiently, but do you want Empire to have all the room in the world to finish off Midas on Invoker and Juggernaut to get up and running?
You don't really have a choice now. Invoker has 1400 gold, so he pretty much has his Midas. Juggernaut is pretty resistant to ganks because he can just spin TP unless Venge is there with a swap, but Venge is kind of interested in getting her farm up. She is going to go Midas into Helm of Dom, so it's not going to be that much slower. I do think Navi should be eyeing Roche pretty soon. I think they can take it out pretty quickly as soon as Shadow Fiend gets his level 1 present of Dark Lord.
And they've got that Night Stalker ulti now. A minute and a half until nighttime.
Yeah, they just need a farm for, I think, like 2 minutes, I'd say. Shadow Fiend can get 10 at that point. 25 attack speed, 20 attack speed, also really good. Vengeful Spirit will have her Helm of Dom, and then it'll be nighttime, and then they can actually fight again. But, you know, just a brief lull on the action for them.
I mean, you said they should sit back a little bit. 4-man farming their own jungle. RMN's the only one across the river. Actually lurking around, maybe looking to push out this creep wave after Chappie forces it forward and dips back into the jungle. But there is the nighttime. General pops his ult as well, just trying to extend that one out.
I think they have to fight now, fight soon though, because General doesn't have that much farm. He committed for an Urn rather than like Midas, let's say. So that means that he's not going to be very farming unless they get a couple of kills pretty soon. So they're actually going to go into Roche right now. At level 9, Shadow Fiend did go for the presence of the Dark Lord over the ultimate. Should make this a lot easier. It's a pretty good value point. Minus 3 armor for 1 point.
That's pretty huge.
Yep.
And Empire don't seem to know until now. They Sunstrike and scan into the pit.
Too late.
But it's way too late. They've committed 3 heroes bot lane to try and shove into tier 1.
It was a good darkness by General. He used it at 11:06. So it's very typical to use it 50 seconds before nighttime. So they probably think, okay, you know, he just wants to make it night for a good 5 minutes instead. And they were actually sitting behind the Juggernaut on bottom expecting a gank, but that did not happen.
And now
they're ready, dude.
Yeah, now it's natural nighttime, and you mentioned the Midas in general. He's actually got that queued up. The TP will come to the tier 2. Looking maybe for Chappie as the fake push mid. It did start off. Miposhka's moved away from his Jug and the spin TP. We'll get Chappie away. RMN is one of the stragglers left out across this river, but Empire don't have anything to chase forward just yet. You know, FN still wants to farm into his Aghanim Scepter. Going for that kind of raw build that we're seeing more and more commonly. No more Rings of Aquila, no more, you know. I think we've seen Koikva go 4-staff a couple of times, but it's very rare as Chappie finds Dendi up at the top rune spot. Sunstrike's off the mark, and, well, they've got the stun. Miposhka does cancel a TP at the very last second to secure that kill.
Downside of Night Stalker going to Urn. He had the Urn, and he doesn't have any charges. So now he's forced to farm for his Midas. And because he's forced to farm for his Midas and sit in lane, Shadow Fiend dies because Night Stalker is not doing anything except for farming. We don't want Night Stalker to be right here parked down in lanes farming up creeps. You want him to kind of make the enemy team feel threatened, make Invoker feel scared to farm these neutrals that he's farming. Juggernaut a little bit afraid to push towers because of the crippling fear threat, and none of this fear is really happening right now.
I guess
because it was all because of that failed T2 dive, though. Yeah. Actually.
And I guess when you are farming as Night Stalker, you want to be doing it in fog anyway, being off the map to sort of create that fear you're talking about. TP up top, and they want to start something off onto Chappie. He's low HP, but the Hoof Stomp comes in with a Sunstrike, and down he goes. General TPs to try and find something there, trying to make action happen, but the TPs from Empire will now allow them to full retreat. General's not having the best of times over on this Night Stalker. He's 400 or so gold away from his Hand of Midas, but
he did save the tower up top, though. I don't think it would have fallen anyways. They could have just raised, and it would have been enough to stop the creep wave. Usually it's the Ogre that does that. Ogre's the one that's like, oh, I'm just gonna run in,
Wanna
kill
walk-
me,
I'm gonna stand in your creep wave and tank a few hits so the tower doesn't.
kill me, please. Not this game.
Chappie rushing straight into Manta style. You know, you talked about that crippling fist. Silence is so big against the Juggernaut, not allowing him to healing ward or spin.
Even getting swapped in, I think, is pretty bad for him. So Manta kind of helps against that too.
I guess you can like swap into Silence as well, but this is the 5-man push that we've been looking for from NaVi into the tier 2 mid. Alpha Wolf there for Pycat's Venge as the Hand of Midas. Oh, it's been kicking in. Level 12, double damage Venge, and up onto high ground they go. Aegis is still on Pycat for a couple of minutes now. Tier 3's dropping, and there's no glyph here actually. This might be a full commitment to take down the tower and look for shrines, but the blink, stun, sunstrike off the mark, completely misses. FN seem to have no idea where the Vengeful Spirit was. This does not stop NaVi going on through the roll forward. Miposhka in with the Magnetize, but he's immediately dead. Tornado catches 3, but it's not enough damage, and they don't have the sustain to continue going forward. Ghost Stick even popped the Stampede for that, and NaVi, again, these are just spells being thrown that they're not doing anything, so NaVi can just keep on going.
That kill was so rough because that actually gave earn charges. So now Venge has like a second life.
They finally find the Leshrac, so no Edict onto the ranged racks, which is what NaVi were looking for, and they will finally move themselves away.
Still, they can take shrines out. It's 15 minutes into the game.
Yeah. I mean, Aegis still had another minute or so to go for Pycat, but there's no reason to give that away or give away a team fight when you've done so much structural damage over onto the side of Team Empire's base.
The DD was really great. The missed Sunstrike was very, very costly. Pycat would not nearly have been so bold had he, like, it would have forced the Earth Spirits to not roll into. They wouldn't have had the earn charges, and Venge might have been actually like a good kill target too with Omni Slash and whatnot. But regardless, NaVi come out way ahead. I think being able to take down shrines this early is really huge for them. Unless then he keeps dying.
That one doesn't miss. But Pycat, Aegis, is going to get popped here. They're looking to kill off Ghost Stick in the back, and they will. Pycat doesn't have a swap, but take a look at where Chappie is. Slowed down by the Ignite, spins himself and TPs away. There's nothing to stop this, now that Swap's on cooldown. And Dendi, that time the Sunstrike got him. Ghost Stick pairing up very nicely there with FN, finally finding that pop.
He did sell that the other Wraith Band though, that you talked about.
Did he finish the second Wraith Band? I didn't actually look to see it.
I don't think so.
I saw the second Slippers.
But he did buy a slipper. Usually you don't buy just a plain slipper.
Yeah, it was interesting. What do NaVi do now? Do they just continue the pressure? Do they wait for next Roshan? Are they waiting
I think
for General?
they look for opportunities to take down shrines. I think they could take it very quickly with SF beating on it and Leshrac with the Edict. So they just need to look for like one simple kill and 2 taking down shrines, and then take control from there. Having those shrines down, like, it is so hard to farm in the jungle, even if you're like a Juggernaut or something like that, because of the no shrines. You can't expect help from your team at all.
And you can even see the line of warding here from NaVi all across the jungles. One mid lane is about to expire. A fresh one up on the top lane, though, actually scouts Ghost Stick as he moves on across into the dire jungle. They're hunting for someone, but there is no one here. Their Radiant Observer Ward that was deep maybe saw for a split second RMN as he walked across the lane. But this is NaVi setting up camp, and Ogre, he's standing next to a shrine. Yeah, he's pinging it, saying, guys, we can probably go for this. They've shown up top. They've given away the position of 3-4 of their heroes, but now this smoke.
There's no Leshrac though. They can't take it down that quickly without Lesh. Like, Shadow Fiend's gonna have to sit there for a good like 20 seconds to take this down.
Oh, this could be big for Empire. They are smoked and running forward. FN's even TPing back. Oh, he's TPing back to Fountain actually to regen his mana, looking for a Sunstrike maybe. Ghost Stick blinks away. The Shrine's already dead. They couldn't get there in time to start a team fight before it went down. And RMN just goes back to farming waves.
They really want to fight this though. Pycat does have the double damage. He's hit
Again?
really hard. Yep. Double damage with Bloodlust.
Oh, yes.
He's not level 15 though. Thought the Midas would bump him up in levels, but he's still puny level 13.
And he's going straight into the BKB afterwards. Why no Dragonlance in this game? Does it just slow things down too much? You need these key items faster? Dragonlance is a bit of a delay?
I think because he already has the Midas, bigger items are better.
Okay.
BKB owns their lineup though. Who can really right click? Invoker's not farmed enough to do so. You can't just stand there right clicking the Venge with alacrity.
Especially if
And
Juggernaut like insta dies or gets caught out.
Juggernaut also has Manta style. He doesn't do that much damage, even with like a full Omni Slash on the Vengeful. She's usually going to have her her helm creep around her too, so half damage from the Omni Slash generally. I like it. With a BKB, you are not scared of dying at all, and you can also offensively swap. You can like swap Invoker in and then BKB and just do whatever you want. It's great.
Swap into Requiem.
Swap into Requiem.
Swap into Crippling
That is
Fear.
really hard to pull off, to swap into Requiem, but
I want to see it now. Now you've said that, I really want to see it.
it's so high risk for
Yeah, for 1 kill.
for maybe a kill. That's the risky part.
I think the coolest things I've seen are like swap into Centaur stuns and stuff when there's been like a Venge and a Chen. But usually that's a support Venge and a support Chen, obviously. So yeah, you're not giving away too much if things go poorly for you. Empire, they hold a pretty good position here over towards the east of Navi's advance.
Did you see the swap into Lasso? That was pretty cool.
Swap into Lasso?
Yeah, some of the Chinese teams ran it when Position 1 Venge was starting to be experimented with.
Because Vega used to run the swap into Hex. Venge
Swap
like,
into Hex is
like
super easy.
Yeah.
Swap into Lasso is...
That
like,
sounds cool.
The cast range on Lasso is not great, so...
Huh.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Navi don't push forward. They realize they have no vision around this.
They need to take down that second shrine, do Roche, and then proceed how they will. But those should be the next 2 objectives for them, because it doesn't really seem like Empire really want to fight at the moment.
How do they gain access to this area, though? With Empire lurking around and the tier 2 top standing, do you send RMN bot again to like push a wave and force Juggernaut to go and deal with it?
No. You use the threat of Night Stalker.
So you just stay 5-man versus 5-man and have the Mexican standoff kind of thing?
Night Stalker teams always get the jump, though. They should always get the jump. So that's the upper hand that Navi have right now.
Navi needs to get some wards down, though.
They have Night Stalker. He's a ward.
He doesn't have Ags yet, though.
Yeah, but he has Night Vision. Night Vision is incredibly good.
That's true.
That's why Luna was super popular and not so popular after she got her Night Vision nerfed, amongst other things.
Bloodstone. RMN completes it 21 minutes in.
That is very fast.
No Yules, no Glimmer,
I
nothing.
actually like the Greaves build that Swindles does a little bit more than the Bloodstone Rush on the support. Just because I think in a team fight it's just way better. It's really good versus like the Magnetize on the Earth Spirit to dispel that, healing everyone up, and of course the mana I think is also fairly important versus something like an Invoker who could potentially EMP your team.
And when you have 6 armor on a Leshrac, you're just going to get a right-click down and maybe 1 or 2 hit crit as a Stampede.
You just play differently though with this build. This build you run in a lot more. Greaves, you just sit in back, cast your spells, heal up. So Roshan is almost up. It's been 10 minutes and 35-ish, 40-ish seconds. And both teams know that we're just going to be up. Vengeful Spirit does have an illusion. How does Pyke keep getting BC
The best runes.
Yeah, these are seriously the best runes for him. I would say Illusion right now is better than DD because they can get the high ground vision. And Earth Spirit just rolled away from the Illusion because he's deathly afraid of what's happening. He even had the Observer Ward. But look, can you click on that Observer Ward? You can't see anything with it. It's to the left.
Jump in, Ghost Stick, 2-man stomp, double-edged general, Omni Slash down, but they've still kept themselves alive. This Bloodstone Leshrac is finally going to drop, and he will die, but a heal comes through onto Pycat. Ghost Stick is stood in, the Roche Pit and down he goes. He actually had the Aegis, he snatched it. Somehow he took it, and now Navi, they don't have that second life of the Vengeful Spirit. The Pochka going to get raised a little bit here, but Chappie always got him on lockdown. The BKB from Dendi will keep him alive a little bit longer, but Navi have given away, gifted a team fight win to Empire. I didn't see what happened in the pit, but somehow
3-man stomp by Ghost Stick.
But the Aegis, why didn't no one pick it up?
I'm not sure. I mean, I think they were stunned, but I don't know who actually killed it.
Centaur got it somehow.
Maybe it was unclear in between the Vengeful Spirit and the Shadow Fiend who was actually going to take the Aegis. Because I think both are pretty good carriers.
Yeah.
Both have BKBs too, so... Vengeful Spirit was not able to pop her BKB in time.
They won't be able to do anything in time. That big old hoof stomp catching the 3 of them, then Roshan dying, then Aegis getting snatched. Oh, the Ice Wall placed down.
I really think this Leshrac build actually might have cost him the game, though. If he had anything else other than a Bloodstone, Like if he had Greaves, I think he would have been able to survive that fight and keep
Force
the
staff.
Force Staff. More importantly, Solar Crest. If he had Solar Crest, Roach would have been done. Right? It would have been done 5 seconds before that whole fight had engaged. And Bloodstone's nice. I mean, it's good, but if you're a core, I would say, because the thing about getting Bloodstone late is that you're not farmed enough to just run in. You want to get Bloodstone and then get like Shivas and stuff like that, so you just like run in with your Bloodstone and just do tons and tons of damage because you have a lot of HP and a ton of mana. But like when you're behind with a Bloodstone, it's not particularly great because you lose charges because you're not that farmed. And you can't run in because you're not that farmed. So it doesn't really synergize with the playstyle of the Leshrac that I think RMN is going for. And you know, Swindle's build does have a lot of merit.
Okay. Well, at least they did get that kind of AoE pop heal. Kept Avenge alive a little bit longer inside the pit when RMN did die.
Yay.
Yeah. I'm just looking for silver linings here, Ben. That one little thing, that's all I can come up with is that he managed to AoE heal a couple of people and maybe draw out the fight a little bit longer, but
he could respawn a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Nice.
But even then it's even more scary, right? Because if you're relying on an AoE heal from a Bloodstone to keep you alive a few seconds longer and still die.
He didn't pop his BKB. He got, I think the Sunstrike hit all around the same time as the hoof stomp double edge.
Then they had like Tornado, Ice Wall, and everything inside the pit, but the battle kicks off again. Bottom lane, Tornado 1-2. Nice Chappy Jugger. Oh, hello. Omni Slash through them. The stomp comes out again. Requiem wound up at the spin. Chappy still alive. The swap back in. A couple of right clicks will finish him. And Jug with Centaur both dropping. FN fell back after throwing the Tornado. Didn't want to commit to the fight, but will be able to TP away. Sunstrike missing out on RMN there, it looks like. As Miposhka will also TP out.
Drop your Bloodstone! RMN, please!
Efficiency! Like, I even drop Null Talisman or Magic Wand. Like,
well, Bloodstone's really annoying because you can't put it in your backpack.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So, it's not as easy. But the other item, sure. And you don't really want to put your Bloodstone on the floor. It's like
your one item. He has one. Well, he's got Yules now, I guess.
He's actually very farmed now. So that's kind of nice. Yules can save him from like Omni Slash.
Whoa. What the hell?
Pike gets in.
Pike just walks into the enemy base with a Shadow Blade and says, cool, Earth Spirit, thanks, I'll take you. And now they can finally go for that top shrine.
15 minutes, they took T3, took them another 10 minutes to get both shrines.
Yeah.
That, not ideal for them, but you know, it's kind of hard to venture up into that area. But I don't actually know if they're going to be able to take it.
Not the most seamless of transitions for them, but they will get there eventually. They can't go towards tier 2 top though. They've not got the creep wave. It's shoved all the way to tier 3.
Arcane Night Stalker. Value.
Permanite.
Not quite.
And he's got his Ags. But yeah, he doesn't have the level 3 in the darkness.
Nor does he have Octarine.
Oh yeah. Octarine Night Stalker is so annoying.
It's pretty great.
Is it perma? It's like 12 seconds downtime or something.
It's something ridiculous.
It's very close.
It's very close.
Yeah. Well, now General has that. They've got that AoE vision. Just need to get themselves a gem, which actually Ogre has picked up. Now they can start looking to D-ward and move around the map, control things up even further.
So selfless, Ogre. He's going for Vlad instead of Midas.
Stampede.
Oh,
the high ground. They've got the Ags to jump in as well. The stun, the Omni Slash, the combos through. Biver and General both screwed, and RMN turns to fight, but Chappy dodges the stun out with his Blade Fury. And we'll walk this one off for now. FN looks like he wants to go back in. Pops the Alacrity and the healing wall's down. The stomp not going to land though with the BKB from Pycat. Turns the battle up against Chappy, and now down he goes. A little bit too big for his boots there as Healing Ward dodges a couple of attacks uphill, but the swap back onto Earth Spirit. Nice. I'll kick away and roll back to safety. Well, allow Miposhka to escape, and FN also follows suit. TP's out. And in the meantime, Dandy's been pushing top lane.
His TP was on cooldown. I checked.
But I mean, he's like gaining value while they're winning a team fight already. I say winning. It's a 2-for-1, but
they could have easily just backed off and just gotten 2 kills. So it's definitely on Empire for going back in there, not respecting the BKB of the Avenge that they had revealed on the T2 fight bottom. But you know, they thought they could do it. From their point of view, it was 5v2.
Yeah. One big problem though. The gem they had just bought.
Oh, they lost?
It's now on the Centaur.
That's rough.
Yeah, that's not fun.
You also should not be holding the gem as the ogre.
Oh, he'd given it to Nightstalker already. Nightstalker died back there.
Oh, he did? Oh, okay.
He'd literally passed it to the Nightstalker. They saw the Rubik, killed the Rubik, and then they lost the gem.
GG.
Unfortunate. FN. Tornado's creep wave blinks back into the trees. General sees him, but ooh, tries the Force Staff with the help of Dendi.
That was really close.
Nearly gets the mini stun out from the void, but will not find him. Maposhka also just barely able to TP away. General's very quick on his feet with these face boots.
He might want to blink or something like that to
That could
be
be
able
cool.
to stop these. Yeah, I'm not actually sure what you go for on Night Stalker. Maybe the armlet that you talked about. He went for cast range at level 10. Never mind. You don't go for armlet with that. Actually, he has Bloodlust though.
Difficult decision.
That is pretty difficult. Well, I think at 25 attack speed or 300 mana is easily 25 attack speed. 'Cause
I mean,
you don't run out of mana.
What about like a Basher, an Abyssal Blade or something, or a Hex?
I think Bash would be really nice. I don't like Hex just because Lotus just owns it.
I'm thinking like instant disables against the Jugger or the Invoker.
I like Blink personally just because he's gonna be picking people off that split push. It's really good at killing the Invoker. But Basher's pretty good too. I think Basher's probably better because Invoker has BKB.
RMN. Looks like he's in trouble. And he'll die. Also loses out on the Dire Courier, which had his Medallion of Courage on it.
Oh,
so
now he's going for it.
Now he's going for the Solar Crest.
I bet he has so much regret about the Bloodstone too.
Oh, Ghost
after the
Stick.
first Roche.
Maposhka comes in to save him. The 3-man Magnetize is there. The BKB from Pycat's through, but the healing ward's keeping Ghost Stick alive for so long. Swap back into the middle of the three of them will finally secure the kill and the gem. The gem, guys. The Earth Spirit comes back in, and Invoker with the EMP Tornado catches Pycat as well, and Juggernaut says hello. So Vengeful Spirit.
Where is Dendi?
That's a very good question. Dendi
He's TP'd out.
Dendi is miles away. He's BKB TP'd, and he's long gone.
What is up with their teamwork? Like, Pycat's off making solo plays by himself, which is good. Armen's been farming and dying by himself. Not so great. Dendi has just been nowhere to be seen in these team fights, and not really, like, he didn't get the T2 tower on the left side. He wasn't pushing a tower that time too. He was just TPing back to Fountain, you know, and I don't know if they just like don't trust each other or what, or they just really have that fear of dying.
Like disjointed decisions, it feels like, and I was praising them before this series started, how they seemed to be patient and their decision making seemed crisp and clear in the previous series. In this one, it seems like it's 4+1. Dendi's off doing some of his own things while the rest of the team is grouping up and fighting. And the last time I saw Dendi in a team fight was when they were like pushing down mid.
Been a while. Oh, the T2 fight on bottom too.
Maybe they find the Invoker. Nice stun. Chain it up with a few raises, a few hits in, but FN's got the Ghost Walk.
Where's his detection too?
I was expecting Arman to have Dust or something,
Yep.
but they do not have it.
The team play is just, you gotta play for the team, man. Get the Solar Crest for the team. Get the Dust for the team. He didn't even buy Sentry Wards after that.
And now the third Roshan. Man, this has got ages cheese, and NaVi are not in position to contest this. Up on the high ground, take a look where Miposhka is ready to jump on in, and he'll find the initiation onto Ogre, then he'll roll away. The swap is there. Pycat puts himself in a dodgy position, and now in comes Ghost Stick, the 3-man stun. Oh, this is great for Empire. The spin comes through, and Chappie, well, Tornado won't latch, but Juggernaut will finally lose the age as Dendi joins the team fight with his BKB up, but he doesn't have a target to go on. He's got Requiem available, but now the BKB ends. He's stunned, he's chained, he's killed, he's dead. And another 2-man stomp from Ghost Stick finds the perfect continuation of this team fight. NaVi are crumbling and falling one by one. The self-fuels from this poor Leshrac will only lead into a deny, while General, oh, he scurries away down towards bottom lane to get anything he can out of the rest of this map.
If anything, it's Empire that's the ones that are way more patient this game and kind of just biding their time, waiting for the perfect moment. To Roche, like we just saw there, perfect moment to kind of just gank them, take their gem, wait for them to make the silly moves, wait for Shadow Fiend to be split away from his team with no way to get there, and you know they're just playing better, or looking for the better opportunities and biding their time. I think Chappie's played pretty well this game too. He kind of led them to that first gank that turned things around on the bottom lane. He has 14 kills. The BKB has served him pretty well in these fights, and yeah, he's just farming like a beast.
And then you have FN, who hasn't died yet this game, had, you know, not a rough laning stage, but it wasn't the best. And now you're looking at him thinking, right, he's nearly got Octarine Core, he's pretty much 6 slotted, just wants a refresher or a Hex or something to swap the Midas out for. And he's been landing these big combos, obviously with the help of Ghostic, landing consistent 3-4 man hoof stomps with a Centaur.
Ghostic might actually be like the one that's played the best. He actually went for had the decision to go for the Scepter before the Hood. You will almost always see like Hood into Blink into
Ags.
something else, usually Ags, right? So this game he decided to skip the Hood, and the Ags made a big difference in the team fight bottom, where Rubik kind of stampeded up that cliff. And I do also think that's some fault of NaVi, though, not pressuring him while he's farming up the 4,200 gold for Ags. And Dendi...
Look at this!
Yeah, what is going on in mid? Dendi's BKB is already at 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what happened to 3 of them.
So's Pycat. Pycat's down to 6 seconds as well. Exactly what I was just about to bring up.
Well, Pycat's been in the fights.
Yeah.
Pycat's been in like every single fight, I think, from them.
But they've bought these, you know, relatively early.
Yeah.
And now they
didn't fight with it.
They've depleted all their charges. And if you're allowing FN to basically blink, oh, hang on a second, are they jumping on through? Pycat, there is his 6-second BKB. Dendi, thinking about the Requiem, he's going to launch it out, but Ghostic's there with a stun and the Ice Wall, and the damage is... It's way too much! Dendi thought they were going to fight, but in the end, he just gives away the Requiem to the Rubik. And they've lost 2 heroes in quick succession, but if FN is allowed to blink into 2 heroes of the opponent team without any help behind him, and do whatever the hell he wants because NaVi can't stop the Invoker, what are they meant to do to win team fights? What can they do to win team fights?
Swap in a kill. Swap into like a split earth, maybe like that. It's really tough now versus the BKBs. And of course the Centaur Ags makes things insanely difficult for them. Dendi does no damage and he also can't tank anything. He went for this AC after the BKB, which I can understand. He wants to be able to tank the Juggernaut during the BKB, but that last fight he didn't get his BKB off. And if you go AC, you're not really right-clicking very hard because they have the Ags on the Centaur, so you probably need some sort of like better sustain. I do not think this is a build that many Shadow Fiends would go in this particular situation, but...
Especially when you've only got 13 souls. He just keeps losing souls over and over again.
Man, he had such a good start too, getting that first blood and 12 souls.
Yeah.
36 minutes pass, gain 1 soul.
Oh, poor Dendi. He did go this build last game, but he was against like Slardar, Avenge, a bunch of minus armor.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think LD and I were like thinking Butterfly, and he went for the AC, and we were fine with that. But
versus Centaur Invoker, it is. I think. I don't actually know what a better build would have been. Probably.
Satanic?
Yeah, Satanic I think is good.
I don't know.
Manta style I think is also pretty good too.
Yeah, it's a tough choice, eh?
Or well. SNY, yeah. SNY I probably would have preferred too. He just needs to be able to stand there and like right-click people, or just be there for the fights. I think I could have forgave him for his item build had he been there for a lot of the fights that they desperately needed his damage output for. Like Venge and Shadow Fiend are actually so strong together. Like one has huge both have huge right click. One has an aura, another one has like a minus armor aura. So they have so much synergy together. But yeah,
he's done it again. FN with his
butterfly.
With his butterfly invoker.
Does a lot of right click. I don't think it's the worst build.
No,
I've seen far worse builds.
Yeah, he's shown that it's definitely not. It's definitely not awful. And well, we'll find the ogre. But I think the big fight is kicking off in the meantime towards the back end, where they found Pycat as well as RMN. Omni Slash comes through, and with a swap back, General is popped in. Pycat runs away, but he's given away the life of his teammate. RMN chases down Chappie, but I think this might be the beginning of the end here. Dendi BKBs up and tries to get to the top of the ramp. He will succeed in doing so for now because they change back onto the last track. Split Earth won't do a damn thing. And NaVi, 2 men remaining. Pycat and Dendi, they are the 2 core heroes, but Empire only lose their 2 supports, and with Chappie moving on to high ground, this is going to be another lane of racks.
I think that's GG. No BKBs on Pycat, nor Dendi.
Pycat.
Nice force. That's the best teamwork I've seen them have all game.
Synergy, cohesion, teamwork. 1 Hurricane Pike back, but Pycat is going to have to stand his ground and fight here. There is no way you run away, surely. Oh, Maybe there is. Apparently Empire, focusing on buildings, spin TP to retreat. They don't want to give anything to Na'Vi, even if it means they could have killed off Pycat. He will survive with his life.
He had BKB. I don't think they could have killed him. But yeah, but that's your base in shambles. 2 racks down. And I mean, their late game's pretty good. Venge SF is pretty good late game, but I think their BKBs are just straight countered by the Juggernaut at this point too. He has Scotty, so you can just right click through them. The attack speed's slow, plus the Manta images, plus him just being way more farmed is not going to bode well for them.
Is Invoker killable anymore? I mean, he hasn't died once this game.
No.
I don't feel like
As, not unless they like swap him into an instant disable.
into Fountain.
Not even into Fountain. I think they can kill him like if they swap stun into a Requiem. Let's say that's
Okay.
and that's pretty reasonable. And Centaur doesn't Ags. But yeah, if Centaur Ags or Invoker pops BKB, which should happen in like 95% of the fights, then yeah, he's not gonna die.
And now he has a DD rune with Alacrity. Look at that.
And Butterfly.
600 damage with the Butterfly attack speed as well. That's a little bit crazy. Na'Vi, it's time to hold your high ground. They've pushed out the 2 lanes. You know, that's a great start. Top and mid have been shoved. So there won't be like a 2-pronged attack or anything like that from Empire. No, nothing like that. But the jump in, FN just starts things off, and Ghost Stick continues. A good hoof stomp, but the BKB's popped by the Centaur. And Chappie will be able to walk up to high ground and hit the tier 3 with the help of his Blade Fury. Na'Vi have to go back and regen up Dendi with the Shrine. This is all or nothing time. Stun back onto Chappie, the swap is there. They've moved Dendi in and he's dead and gone. He has to buy back, the stomp comes through and Ghostic runs on through it as well. They've got so much damage between them. Chappie chases down the Night Stalker with the Tornado out as well. Omnislash bounces back between them, looking for Pycat, but Dendi's BKB Requiem doesn't do too much. It's stolen away by Rubik and he might look to turn with this. The Blink hoof stop again from Ghostic. Requiem from King R. The damage output's insane. The Tornado will finish off one. The Magnetize might finish off the second, but the Bloodstone heal keeps Pycat alive, but I don't know for how much longer, as GG is called and Na'Vi tap out a Sunstrike from FN. The final move of the game, it looks like, securing another kill over on the Vengeful Spirit.
That was looking so promising for Na'Vi.
It really was. It really was. First, like, what, 17... When did they take the tier 3? 17 minutes in? 16 minutes in?
When? 15.
15.
When did this music?
Ten seconds remaining.
Breaker single target so with Ursa. How are you going to kill multiple people? I guess you just kill them all really quickly, one by one. That's the plan.
Just line them up, kill them one by one, hope Empire filter in.
Well, they do have really good burst for Batrider Ultimate. That is certainly true.
They sure do. Empire will be the
Okay.
Maposhka Pudge.
I got to check this taunt. Does he have it equipped?
Can you check?
He
you can
does
check
not
now.
have it equipped. Oh, no. Disaster. He doesn't even have any cosmetics for him.
No taunt. Why does it have the anti-mage icon?
I'm not sure.
Broken game, literally unplayable. Oh well.
Maybe it's just like Anti-Mage trying to troll you. It's like his face. He's like, ha, no taunt here, sir.
It's not as though he's like the first hero in the list either.
Nope,
That's
Abba.
Alchemist. Oh, it's Abaddon now. Yeah,
Jeez.
not Alchemist. How could I forget about Abaddon? The NA special. So yeah.
Turn off your notifications, dude.
Oh, did I forget to sign out of Steam? Oh, that's very bad.
His Steam name is Gareth, guys. Please spam him as punishment.
Okay, M-Dog.
Well, they saw your icon. They don't know my icon.
I don't know your icon either.
Excellent. Let's keep it that way.
They can just see like friends in common, or look for, I don't know, other people who you're friends with.
Or they could
that
just
you're the
see
real
Gareth with the
No,
icon.
they can just go
saw.
to your Dota buff verified page and see that that's the real one. You've got no escape, Molini. You've got no escape.
I have Smurfs.
Okay.
I have a Smurf by the name of Melrini. I'm not even kidding. It's great.
the real Melrini police.
No, it's just Melrini
Melrini.
with the J Spellerin icon.
Oh dear. So Ghostic, he will be going bottom lane. Do you think he will just buy Iron Talon? AFK in the jungle a bit?
Nope.
Get chased down by the Spirit Breaker?
Nope.
What's he gonna do?
Sitting in the trees on the right side, I think is probably a little bit better.
Boots first, or?
Yeah, I would prefer that for sure. Iron Talon's also okay, but like you can troll. Sorry, Ursa's not that threatening because he has no gap closer. Like Urshak is very, very, very short range, and he has to get charged in order to die. And he can, if he's really good about it, he can stun. So Slaughter does go boost first. I do approve of this choice. Iron Taloning offlane is just not really that great anymore, unless you have a position forward that soaks up the XP in the offlane, which does not seem like that is their plan. Poshka puts an observer ward. It is not really that deep. It doesn't scout the bounty rune. Doesn't scout any neutral camps aside from the one ancient camp. This ward generally not terribly favorable at the start. However, it is very unlikely to be dewarded, and you can place it really quickly. So they usually have no idea that it's there, and it does give them both runes.
Yeah, and across the river you can see both wards actually. Up towards the Roche Pit, there's the other dire ward there as well. And I guess
that one's really good because you can see the Iron Talon jungler, and you can see the bounty rune.
And I guess it sort of creates this line of vision where if Spirit Breaker is sort of charging into lanes, you know, you're always going to be able to catch him, right? There's always going to be.
Definitely why those two observer wards are good. Good point, Gareth.
Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. That's definitely for the Spirit Breaker on both ends. So Ghostic looks like he's going to try and contest the bottom rune. He does have boots first, but he doesn't really see that many heroes there. Pycat trying to bully him out. Ghostic, does he want the bounty? Does not commit.
He doesn't want to walk into Ogre Ursa. And look, Pycat's even got Orb of Venom queued up. Really wanting to smash this lane.
I don't even know if he gets over Venom because I don't think he'll be able to hit anyone in the lane. If Ghostic actually comes up to hit creeps, then yeah. But he might not at all. In which case you just rush phase.
Well, the lane's set up not as I expected anyway. The Ogre's going to be bottom lane with the Ursa. They're not going to run that Bat Ogre that they've done previously in some other games. So it'll be General Bat with RM and Spirit Breaker up at top. King R just going to wait out for the creep block to come through. Make sure the ranged creep does not go first. But General hasn't blocked it that way anyway. Chappie Lifestealer there just behind them as FN and Dendi. The mid matchup of Invoker and Troll, and Miposhka is going to be able to pull this across. Yeah, this is the only camp that works consistently still, even after the changes of Hook having the buffer time where it doesn't draw aggro. I think I tried a bunch of other camps. I tested this a lot. I think there are windows when you can get like the Radiant offlane camp to go, but the window's so tight that it's just like not worth it to try consistently. But the dire camp you can, and then you can pull across the Ancients, deny out an entire wave, and with Alacrity, FN up to 5-0 on his last hits, while Dendi 4-0, missing out on a fair amount of CS up at top. And Chappie's being chased down with 3 sticky napalm stacks up on him and slowed down by RMN in general. Not enough damage to kill him off, and they force out the salve.
So in all, the lane's going pretty well. Oh, that was not the hook.
The death of Ghostic?
That should be the death. He still has 4 stacks on him, so if he decides to stay around the shrine, he's still going to get hit for a lot.
Pycat fighting under the shrine. The clap not going to hit. Earthshock off the mark, and now Miposhka turns back onto Biver. They've got another crush, and they've got a hook as well, right? There's Sunstrike coming through. Looks like it might be the end of the Ogre. They'll find him with the final click out.
What a
from Ghost
play
Egg.
from Miposhka.
Good stuff.
Missed the hook to bait them in.
All intentional, right? All intentional. In the meantime, as I miss out on that one, they do kill off another chap. He turns to fight Rage in a second. He's going to chase this one down, but he can't keep up to General. Oh, maybe he can. One more click, but it's not enough.
That bash.
General.
Oh, wow. Our men. That bash right as Rage came out. That was great.
Right at the very end. Right at the very end. So this dual lane already winning out from NaVi. Killing off both of the heroes here. Empire losing out a little bit. Charge from RMN,
he wants
go to
to
Shrine.
Yeah, they just want to shrine up together.
That's pretty cool as well. General gives vision of the creep. RMN charges through bottom. Go stick again with a crush.
These observer wards are kind of useless though. They've been parked there for 4 minutes, yet they've seen nothing because Spirit Breaker is not really moving from the lane. So you know they're hurting a lot because of that. Because like as a result of these observer wards, they aren't able to like block the bottom spawn, let's say. So Beaver is able to stack up the Centaur Conqueror, pull it to the lane. They're able to get a lot more experience than they normally would. And Ghost Stick is having a much more difficult time than you would normally.
What's RMN doing? He's like baiting with an illusion, sends it across, waiting with his real hero. Might be looking for a time to strike. FN is low on the mana, wouldn't have enough to invoke Ghostwalk and use it. RMN sees this and they're going to go in with ranged axes, but a hook from Miposhka slows everything down and brings FN to safety.
Man, what if he had the foresight to try and block it with one of his illusions?
Oh, that would have been sick.
That would have been so sick. I don't know if he could have actually done that, though. I don't think they were close enough. But you always got to be on the lookout for those next level plays, man.
Is Pudge going to try and pull again? No, he's leeching experience mid. FN's gone back to Shrine up above. Things have slowed down a little bit, though, in this game. Until now, Sunstrike with a crush. Biver one hit away from death. He'll find it, and Ghost Stick will give his life away to Pycat.
Not worth.
Off lane for a support and giving Pycat gold, and now enough for the phase boots.
It's also not worth because Invoker didn't get the kill. If Invoker got the kill, I think it would have been fine. But he did not get the kill.
I mean, that's two now. Two in a row where FN has thrown Sunstrikes, done damage and landed them, but hasn't found that finishing blow onto the opponent hero. Dendi forces him out of lane a little bit there. Just throwing those ranged axes. There's Miposhka again. Oh.
Yep.
Just gonna watch this because this is broken as hell.
Under attack.
Yep.
Valve have tried so hard to fix this, but not this one. But not this one. How's top lane going? RMN getting a couple of bashes into Chappie actually. Two sticky napalm stacks onto Lifestealer. General looks like he's gonna head into the drums. Magic Wand Tranquils again. She does love so much. Empire, they seem to be falling a little bit behind on all three lanes.
Just a tiny bit. Not so much. Imagine if this creep pull wasn't possible, then they'd be much further behind. But Dendi's had 2 full waves denied from him in the mid lane. So now the Observer Wards are down, Spirit Breaker is free to roam around. They did just drop an Observer Ward close to the Shrine looking for FN, but FN is not interested in being around that area. General actually going over there to look for FN perhaps. He's going to find him. Oh my goodness, what a play from General, but they aren't able to finish that up.
The rotation from the offlane by the two heroes that were up there, but RMN might have given away a little too much. He has another charge ready now, and they've got nothing to stop this from going on. A glimpse is used, but RMN is fine. NaVi just control up. Give the haste room to General. Firefly in 5. There are 4 heroes here from Empire ready around the mid lane. The trouble is Miposhka walks into General, Dendi and Biver. And even though Pudge is relatively tanky, he'll still fall flat on his face.
He might catch Kostik too. He didn't use his Firefly for an initial jump. Oh, he got caught by the kinetic field. But I mean, he's still getting in the neutrals though.
Very close. And this is Ghost Stick with Iron Talon, level 5. Trying to buy Tranquil Boots as well. NaVi are all over this map. They're all over Empire in the early stages, and it feels like
Dire's middle
They want to get this, want to get a job done sooner rather than later. Pycat, Helm of the Dominator is nearly finished. He's got like recipes and all that coming out to him. Just needs the gloves of haste.
It's good for the pace that you want with an Ursa. You want to be able to control the jungle and control the enemy was very...
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Like he's set up to be able to do Roshan quite soon. I would... actually, he went 3-1-1. He doesn't have max Fury swipes. He went 3 in the Earthshock for the lane, although Sorrow hasn't really been there. So if he had maybe 2 points in Earthshock, he could do it at 8 with 3, or sorry, Fury swipes, but...
It's a good enrage by Pycat, making sure that the Crush Sunstrike doesn't come through, and well, Sunstrike, he'll land between a bunch of them, but already Slaughter and Pudge are dead. The deny from Miposhka will take that golden XP away from NaVi, but that enrage from Pycat at just the right time made sure that there wasn't the instant pop kill between Slardar and the Invoker. Now he's got his helm.
Yeah, he needs a shrine though if he wants to be able to do Roche, but...
Mid, Dendi diving in. He's gone a little bit too far, I feel, here. Sunstrike off the money, but they've got the 2 supports ready and available for FN to stand his ground and battle up against the troll.
He's probably really frustrated.
General?
He didn't have those creeps.
General, well, he wanted in, but FN has retreated the long way around, keeping his hero to that tree line on the right-hand side, making sure the General didn't have an easy move across and close that gap.
He's getting all the good runes.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
How's Chappie been doing? Because he's been left alone for a couple of minutes now. Phase boots up.
He's poor.
Making his way towards Helm, but you're right. He's, what, 1,000, 1,200 away from that Ursa's net worth. As mid lane, Miposhka charged and killed. Dendi and RMN again pairing up on this mid lane to find yet another. Looks like the ping is thrown
Chappie
out.
also uses TP for that. He used it and then canceled it.
Oh, he was trying to TP mid to save
Yeah,
him.
he was trying to TP mid to save him, so he might not be able to move around for this Roshan. That is happening right now. Level 2 level 2 Fury swipes looks like it will be enough with the Wild Wing Ripper tanking. I think Ogre is the best creep to tank it with, but Wild Wing is probably second. Maybe the Hellbear for the attack speed aura. There is an infested Centaur Conqueror going in. He might come in at the right time. Oh my god.
This is so close. Wait, they've taken it. They've helmed it. They've taken it. Pycat gets the Aegis. They killed it as well. And now they turn to fight. But the amp damage onto Pycat. Chappie has to run away. He's stunned up. He has no armor and no infest. A Crush will keep the Ogre on lockdown. But with this shrine available, Empire at least have a little bit of respite to stand and turn. And Dendi amped up. Needs to sprint away. NaVi realized that with Aegis and Roshan in their hands, there's no reason to go running up onto high ground, even when they've got vision there into the shrine.
That could have been so much worse. Oh my god. If Spirit Breaker were 6, look how close he is to 6 too. If he were 6, boom, ulti the Life Stealer during Rage, and you are dead. And then they might have been able to dive the shrine there. So, Empire, they dodged a lot of bullets. They dodged like an AK right there, dude. Oh my god, that could have been like game-losing, game-ending fight for them. Not game-ending.
Only
really
10
bad.
minutes in, but it would have been massively detrimental for their efforts.
They could have like used the shrine and potentially gotten dove there, but yeah. Whew.
I mean, it's a good 2,000 net worth jump, you know, over the past couple of minutes. That could have maybe been another 2,000 or 3,000 on top if they.
I would say maybe even more than that, because they would have been able to kill Life Stealer, probably kill like 2 heroes, maybe 3 at the shrine, and then go for a tower.
Oh, they could have got tier 1 mid and top.
Yeah.
Because they're taking tier 1 top just now already. If they're taking the tier 1 mid as well, it's 200 HP.
Everything is falling. And Pycat, oh my god, he gets an easy solo kill. Rage is not going to save you from Ensnare.
The ensnare, the troll, and now Pycat still hasted. FN just TPs out, does not want anything to do with this, but bottom lane is the charge in with Ghost Stick setting him up. The hook brings the Spirit Breaker closer to Miposhka, and this Pudge is in a lot of trouble. General just flame breaks him closer to death, but Miposhka is actually saved by King R with a glimpse in the kinetic field, able to keep them at bay for now, but RMN wants in again. The shrine is popped and Miposhka will be healed. Pycat.
Where is Troll?
Where is Dendi?
Where is Dendi? He's there. He has his Hamadon creep. He needs a creep though. Where's his creep? What creep is he gonna get? It's almost nighttime. I'd actually dominate that Harpy, but it looks like he's gonna get the Centaur.
So they've got Centaur and the Troll. They've got the combo available actually. Net into stun. Especially after a
What a-
charge.
what a
or-
combo.
Yeah, it's a massive combo, dude.
What a
Radiant's
combo.
middle tower
It's so sick, so sick.
Only takes 2 Helmadam creeps.
Hey, it's better than picking Chen, right?
Chen's awesome.
Well, I really dislike Chen.
Really?
Yeah.
Chen's a good hero.
I don't know, I just don't like him.
He's hard to play.
Yeah, he is.
Have you played him? Have you tried? Have you
I
tried
have-
trying to
I've-
learn Chen?
I have tried trying to learn Chen. I have like a
How many games did you try?
I've played like 25 to 30 or something.
Oh, okay, that's
like-
a lot.
And I have like a 27% win rate or something. I am not good. I am not good with Chen.
Maybe you're
I'm
just
gonna-
traumatized from your
I'm
experience.
going to tell you right now, I am very not good with Chen.
Can you play Enchantress?
And yeah, I can play Enchplane. Like one or two creeps is okay.
It's
but
just like a hard Enchantress.
It is. it's like a gentle. But with Ench, right, you can like buy triple null blade mail Aghanims and Dragonlance and stuff and do whatever.
With Chen, you can buy Dagon 5.
That's true. I think the few wins I have on Chen is when I've gone mid, the old penitence, and I've gone max penitence with Dagon 5.
Oh, here they go. High ground, Dendi. Only level 2 in Fervor, so he's not the
Oh,
best
look
at
at
hitting
that.
Centaurs.
Centaur blocking the hook path as well. Dendi, he's got this. He knows what's going on. And now in goes RMN. They find Miposhka, ignite across. Dismembers down onto that Spirit Breaker though. It looks like he'll drop, but that's so much expenditure for just the support as Dendi dies to Chappie in the meantime. They've got the lasso back onto him, but look at this pike at Ursa. In the middle of the battle, the hook back to save the life stealer, but it's chased down by General's Bat. 1-2 punches, Pike Cat picks up a double kill, and the Centaur is one hit away from killing the Pudge, and he finds it. Dendi gets a kill from the grave with the help of his Dom creep, but tier 3 still stands, and Na'Vi have been repelled.
This is exactly like last game. They played very well in the early game. They got the Aegis. They pushed high ground very early, and let's see if they can learn from their mistakes last game. Last game, they kind of just after this exact point, they're just like, we are not a team.
But it's like,
I don't know you guys, dude.
what was the lead they had in the last game? It was like 8 between.
Not that much. Maybe same as
It was
now.
like 8. It was like 8k or something.
Was it 8K? I can check.
Because
Actually,
they got tier 3 mid. They did like exceptionally well. They did like super well.
I don't think they were that far ahead when they took it down, though.
Okay. Well, they still had a lead and then kind of plateaued then and then plummeted.
Yeah, it
Pretty
plummeted
hard.
for sure.
And with Invoker now, halfway towards his Aghanim Scepter, he's got point booster, 1600 gold saved up. The Midas is kicking in, pushing him up to level 12. He's tied up with the Ursa Warrior. Sunstrike comes in, but Dendi actually still alive, and the jump in from Pikecat and General glimpse away, and Ghost Stick trapped in with a sticky napalm, and that nasty old flame break burning through onto him. They find 2 for nothing.
Man, General's bat is so good. He's just been like, he's that bat that you're just like, I know he's gonna come out from this tree from this angle at any time. And he was there in the mid lane. He was there to lasso the lifestyle. I really like his bat though. Anyone aspiring to play bat should watch a little bit of General. Always active, gets his farm on, controls the runes.
He just has like no redundant movements, right? Every time you look at him, he is doing something efficiently, whether
Yeah,
it's stacking or farming or killing.
He knows what to do though on the hero. Even when he's like super far behind, he somehow finds a way back in. Like on his Night Stalker, he's like wasn't sure where he should farm, what items to buy. RMN going in.
Sack Storm's going to whiff as well, and Pikecat has free reign in this fight. Enrages up, but the Deafening Blast holds him for a second. Dendi, in the meantime, has killed off Pudge once more.
They have a lot of good lockdown for Lifestealer. Lifestealer's Rage is not very good here. Spearbreaker ult, Ursa right clicks you, Battle Trance, and Lasso. So for even Bloodlust moves, he's actually quite annoying for an open wounds Rage Lifestealer to deal with.
And they've got the double bash you were mentioning as well, between Troll and
Let's make it
Spearbreaker.
triple. Actually, no, Ursa's going for
Aghanim Scepter.
Aghanims
Well,
into Basher.
He's got Basher queued up.
This is a lot. That's the only good thing Empire have going for them is that they didn't lose T3, so that the shrines are still available to them. But
all of the tier 1s are standing for Na'Vi.
yeah, this Goldly is pretty nasty.
10k, going up to like 11 or 12.
I wonder if they would be this far ahead in the alternate universe where they killed Lifestealer there at that fight. Probably more. I don't know. It just seems like they got away by the skin of their teeth in that fight, and Empire still just lost miserably after that, despite all that. They're trying to fight it head on. I mean, their lineup's not particularly well suited for late game, but the big issue is they haven't used Slardar Blink yet. He does have his Blink Dagger. Blink Dagger plus Lifestealer. It works wonders when you're behind like this.
Yeah, they tried to walk it in, but it's so hard when you're being flame breaked and bashed and charged and all of that. Well, FN 600 off his Ags. Nearly maxed out the Exort as well. He can do a little bit of split pushing here and just farm up this bottom wave. But killing off towers is so hard. You know, you're talking about General coming out from the trees and surprising you with his movements. You never know when or where you are going to get jumped on from. I don't know. For Empire, it almost feels like they need, you know, a bunch of Lincolns and Lotus Orbs just to be able to survive in fights.
Or jump the bat. They don't have any save for the bat.
Nice.
I guess maybe... Ooh, King R gets charged. They did drop an Obsword, but it gets immediately killed by General. Yeah, I think they had to jump the bat first.
But how? How, Ben?
Slardar Lifestealer. He doesn't have that much armor. He's going to be well into the negatives with Amp. Actually, not well into the negatives, just -2.
Do you try and do it when Na'Vi are pushing your base? Or actually, no, ignore that. They've answered my question already. Ghostic is going to go for a wander, look for a pick-off somewhere.
Dandy looks to be the target. He does have the Troll Creep. The Troll Creep can actually help out a lot in this situation because he can run away from the Rage Lifestealer. But Slaughter is actually going to TP top. They are looking for Bat Rider, but General's gone.
Oh, he's TP'd out.
He just got his Force Staff. And on top of that, Ghostic sitting right on top of it as a reward.
This Bat Rider's rolling in the money. Even ahead in net worth of that Midas Invoker, who is 30 gold away from his Ags. After this creep wave, he'll finally have it, or creep camp even. Na'Vi, they've settled a little bit. They've fallen back, probably waiting for next Roshan. They've got the Troll in there, waiting to see when the big man's up. About 1:15. 1:20 seconds.
They need the Invoker to kite the Ursa during the Enrage. That, I think, is the most important thing in the fight. Like, Ice Wall him after he casts Enrage, Tornado him.
Deafening Blast.
Deafening Blast, Cold Snap. There's a lot of things that he can do. Even EMP is very annoying for the Ursa. Like, if you don't have mana to Earth Shock or Overpower, you're not really going to be able to kill anyone. So I think Invoker is the key to them winning the fight, as well as Slaughter Lifestealer getting the jump on old General. But General's been very careful thus far. Is he going to be able to find anyone out with this Arcane Rune? He really wants to. He really wants to. You always get that itch when you have the Arcane Rune on a hero like this. Because you got like 28-second Firefly. And looks like he might run into the wrong target. That could be Ghostic, but General's in a really good spot. Or is he? Okay, yeah, he was in such a good spot. Well, Chappie couldn't attack him.
The very, very edge of the cliff. If Ghostic had moved, you know, maybe 50 range further to the west, they would have found that kill. But they've you know, just thrown up a big flag to Na'Vi saying, stay out of our base, give us a bit more time to breathe, and Na'Vi they'll respect this for now. You know, Roshan is up very, very soon, which is obviously what Na'Vi are
Oh my god, Ogre built Solar Crest first.
Cool.
Wow, they have actually learned a lot from last game.
Have they won?
Is
that game winning?
Well, honestly, I think Solar Crest is pretty game winning, because if you can't kill anyone with their starter Lifestealer, you will lose the fight. Also, it helped them take Roach in a comfortable amount of time. So, you know, they built the right items this game. They have not just completely thrown after getting the Roshan. They are actually fighting together. Dendy has been with them. He is 5-2-5. Much better than his record on the Shadow Fiend last game. He has more kill involvement than Pycat. And they are all very, very farmed.
So do you think with Empire, can they hold high ground with the spells that they've got?
Not if someone gets lost into the low ground.
Okay. So I'm just looking at the Ghostic and Ghostic Slardar and seeing he's eyeing a hand of Midas. And I guess Empire really don't have much to do in the next 3-4 minutes apart from defend their base, as Ghostic will blink away, but the chase is on with the drums popped. Slardar sprints and slithers back to safety.
They don't have vision inside the base though, so I wonder how General is going to approach this. He's not actually smoked with the rest of his team, so he might have to like napalm the high ground. Actually, this tower is not that high on HP, and Dendy just decides to go for it with the DD.
The hook brings Lifestealer back. Static Storms onto Dendy, but this is a comedy of errors. Miposhka, the Sunstrike still lands on Dendy to kill him off the dismember of the Bat Rider, but Pycat is ripping apart one on the back end. Ghostic is gone. In comes the Nether Strike, and Pycat rips apart the Lifestealer. Chappie's dead for 50 seconds, and another missed hook from Miposhka means that the continuation of this is going to be pretty disastrous for Empire if they want to keep on going. A glimpse Onto the Aegis Ursa will bring him back, but RMN is waiting on the sides. In the wings. Ready to strike, but Pycat was actually outside of base. He respawns miles away from anyone else. And RMN, lasso in from General, blink forward, Pycat trapped inside the kinetic field, though he's got nowhere to run. The cold snap keeps him in as well, but the enrage, it does purge it off, dispels away the nasty cold snap. But this is NaVi not getting anything out of their Aegis. They've not taken tier 3. Empire have lost their lifestealer, but they have held their high ground and not lost any buildings.
Dendi was very aggressive with that. He didn't even get hooked. He got super lucky. They hooked the lifestealer who was raged, about to kill him. And he still perished because he was like, I want to use this DD. He didn't have BKB. If he had BKB, yeah, maybe he can do that. But or if he had Aegis, he could maybe do that too.
But with Static Storm Sunstrike, he definitely can't.
Static Storm, Sunstrike, and everyone kind of just running at him. Where was the Radiant's courier?
It was at the Dire Secret Shop.
Okay, well, this is a, this is where NaVi kind of threw last game too. That wasn't necessarily a throw. It was just they thought they could take the tower down with the DD faster than Empire could react, and that was clearly not the case.
I mean, Miposhka even missed, 2 relatively big hooks there, but Empire.
Is he gonna get Midas?
I think he does. We're looking at Ghostic Midas.
Oh, I was talking about Pudge.
He's got that now, but yeah, Pudge has saved up 1,700 gold himself. I think he might do the same thing. I mean, is there anything you want from him that can, stem the bleeding here? Like,
Blink's not bad.
Okay.
Blink's one of those items that you can potentially pop BKB with. You like hook a hero, like Troll, and then you blink out and you pop his BKB and then the push is over.
Because I think a common builds, like Black started doing it, Poppies started doing it, and I've seen a couple other players go for like Tranquil's Windlace, Midas, and then Blink. But
I like the Midas.
But usually with that, you're running around the map collecting bounty runes, and
You're not about to lose the game.
You're not about to lose the game, and you get your GPM talent eventually, right?
Yeah. Another thing is his level 25 is really good. The flesh heap strength. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Pudges have like 5,000-6,000 HP easily without that many HP items, or even the 120 rot damage. Although I see that gotten far less often than the flesh heaps. Gotta get the heaps.
I mean, he's not even level 10 yet. He's got a way to go, and might even consider using some of this gold for a buyback. But no, he's got Ether Lens queued up in his quick buy as NaVi come around for what is round 3 of their high ground push attempts.
They just need to at least take the T3. I think that's actually their goal here. Not to actually get the racks, but to force people back at the T3 and then take shrines. I don't actually think they can end the game with this unless things go very swimmingly well for them, which it did not go last time. I hear the infest. There is someone inside a ghost stick.
There definitely is.
Oh, they're going to play it safe.
Radiant Observer Ward, watching out for what's happening, but they don't see Miposhka. Hook in onto RMN. General Flame breaks back. RMN's already dead though, and they jump in, but look at that damage. Pycat shreds the Slardar. Chappie, back onto Dendi. Sunstrike off the mark. Caught in the kinetic field, but the lasso's there. Great tornado. In comes FN with the EMP down as well. The lasso expires, and Pycat with Biver up on the high ground decide it's time to retreat. They've killed off against Slardar and Disruptor. Tier 3's down, but like you said, they got what they came for, and they move on to shrines, although they're not killing it all that quickly.
Invoker's playing very well. He's destroying the Ursa. Keeps tornadoing during the enrage, hitting him with the EMP after too, and then Deafening Blast, as you mentioned, kind of just permanently cutting the Ursa. So Ursa definitely needs BKB. He's not gonna take any damage, but he's not gonna be able to kill anyone if he doesn't have the BKB. So one shrine down. Batrider lassoed the Lifestealer at like the perfect time too, right when Invoker had comboed most of them.
Chappie has been relatively underwhelming this game. He's often been Empire's kind of lifeblood, the one guy that goes in and wins games with his Phantom Assassin, with his Juggernaut. They stack up a lot to make sure that he has a good game.
This game's way more on FN than on him.
And it does feel that way.
Yeah, there's too many Lifestealer counters. Ursa has Basher now, so 4 out of 5 heroes can destroy him. Even Ogre Magi with Solar Crest. I actually think that's a big deal too. So that's 5 heroes that have a decent anti-measure for him. RMN dies on top lane. Looks like it wasn't a Lifestealer bomb. Not the biggest deal.
With Invoker there as well, Ghost Walk.
Oh, Spearbreaker has Crimson Guard. That's a pretty good build for what they're trying to do too. The more armor, the better. Although they are lacking a Vlad. Vlad would be quite nice, as well as an urn. They do have an urn.
Who has the Spirit Breaker?
Spirit
have the arrow?
Breaker, yep.
Okay.
So just like Vlad's, I think. Maybe another Force Staff too would help.
2 Radiant Observer Wards scouting out the same area here, and they see Miposhka perfectly. I think Pycat, he wants... Oh, that's not how that happens. He's pressed the wrong button. He wanted to blink and then Earth Shock, but Chappie has raged himself away. I was wondering if they went onto Miposhka there as well, but Pudge got back up onto the high ground in time. Ether Lens is completed now for the Pudge as well. Extended range on that hook and Dismember.
So what do Na'Vi want to do now? They can either wait minimum 2 minutes for Roche, or they can try and press the high ground. They're at a pretty strong lead right now. I think if they wait a couple minutes, Empire will get slightly more farm than Na'Vi do, but they might have the Aegis in tow. So what is best for them? Looks like they will decide to pressure the high ground with the Trolls' freshly completed BKB. This is it. Do or die.
This is going to be a hard one for Empire to repel the smoke up in behind their tier 4s. FN getting ready, but it looks like they're going to be losing buildings here. They jump onto Dendi, and he is almost obliterated instantly. The BKB's popped, but he's on 10% HP with Chappie charged through back onto the Invoker. Cold Snap cancels that one out. Dismember on the back end. Dendi's sprinting away, but it's General forcing the Pudge to retreat, and Empire have held their high ground once more, and now they're looking to leave the base. No, they will go back up the ramp, not chasing. They are being very, very patient, very, very disciplined, and not giving anything away to Na'Vi and not overextending at all.
That just shows you how strong the Lifestealer Slaughter combination is. I do think that Denny should have just popped his BKB to hit the Rex. They would have just taken down the Rex and just ran away. And then he would have had plenty of time on his BKB, I think, to not get glimpsed back. Or he could just TP out if he's like really feeling scared, but I don't know. That's really not that safe because there's a Pudge there, but I don't know. I think like it's one of those moments where you want to preemptively BKB in case things go poorly. He almost died before anything happened. If they had a hook come out, he would have just died before he could pop this BKB. So that there was still the chance for catastrophic failure, and I think that's what BKB is there for, to prevent catastrophic failure in certain team fights.
General, Gem, and Lotus Orb now. Get rid of amp damage, bounce back on open wounds, Dismember,
Cold Snap,
Cold Snap, Glimpse.
Thunderstrike. Okay, I'm done.
Anything else?
Not that I can think
There are
of.
no like Force Staffs or anything, no Yule Scepters, no Hexes. Nothing like that.
Dismember is big though.
Yeah, Dismember's pretty cool. Sunstrike into where? Oh. Okay, cool. He Sunstrikes the high ground so his Forge Spirit can actually kill off the Obs Ward after they sentried. Nice little safe play. Ghost Stick is going deep on a mission somewhere. Not sure what Ghost Stick was doing actually, but over on the Radiant side of the map is Dendi. Pops into the Roche Pit. Another minute and a half until the big man's up. And Empire, as always, in their base, waiting for Na'Vi to mess up. Well, they might make a move out of their base with Ghost Stick and Lifestealer infested, paired up together.
They know if they just push with Aids of Cheese, they're likely going to lose a Rex. Even if even if Empire win the fight, they're likely still going to lose that melee Rex. So they feel like they need to do something now. Things could go poorly for All Na'Vi. See, he's up in front. Ogre's like, you know, if they're going to jump me, whatever, I'm going to die. That's Ogre's job right there. Stand out in front. If they Lifestealer bomb you, you lasso the Lifestealer and just kill him afterwards, and you trade a life. That's perfectly okay, and he needs to be doing this. It's underrated support just running out in the middle of nowhere for apparently no good reason.
Yeah, force your opponents to sink damage, sink spells and cooldowns into you, and you've even got an Observer Ward up on the high ground now, so you're looking for that in the last couple of team fights.
He might not even die, too. If Batrider's fast, he can Force Staff the Ogre out and then Blink Lasso, or just Blink Lasso the Lifestealer, but it depends on how fast they are. General seems to be pretty on the ball, so Na'Vi impatiently waiting for Roche, pacing around the pit, back and forth.
They jump the Pudge. That should be a simple kill, right? There's no one in the vicinity from Empire to actually stop this from happening. And Roshan is about to respawn. 2 Helm creeps nearby, but with a Pudge dead for 40 seconds, do you try and chip
I think you just do
away at
Roche.
tier 3? Or?
I would personally just do Roche, because if you by chance lose the fight due to buybacks, then the opponents get the Roche. It's much safer to, I think, just take Roche, and then you're pretty much guaranteed Roche because Pudge is dead. And then if you lose the fight afterwards, you won't concede the Roche as well. You'll only just lose the fight, which is fine, and you'll likely trade that for buybacks, which is perfectly okay. Okay, are they going to be able to get any kills? Biber.
Radiant's bottom tower
The first tier 1 tower of the game for Empire. They finally kill a building and get an ogre as their free gift to go along with it. TP away, everyone get back to base, and there's no way that Ghost Dick is going to get caught here at all now. That Hand of Midas has kind of enabled him to build into what looks like a Force Staff nearly done. He's got enough money for it, but with Aegis in the hands of NaVi, you're saying this is like, you know, very important for them. They can maybe now look for tier 3s and barracks and look to close out this game. How important are buybacks for Empire in this for specific
Very
heroes?
important. If they can lose the game if they don't have buybacks. They might lose the game anyways, but it's definitely a higher chance of losing if they don't have buybacks right now. It's super important. I would say Invoker's actually not very likely to die. He's been positioned very well in the fights, so I would say for him it's actually not that important. He can just buy Octarine or Lincolns or whatever he wants. He actually went for Lincolns. That's fine. Lifestealer is very likely to die. He's the one that's most likely to get lassoed into Ursa or Troll and just blown up, or Spearbreaker ultied.
He's 160 gold away, and you can see him sort of making a beeline for this mid lane. Kill off some creeps,
Yeah.
get your buyback.
He is the #1, and then the supports are actually pretty important too. Maybe Slardar. He has a reliable goal from Midas, so he shouldn't be that far off.
Actually, FN hasn't died this game again.
Yeah, he
4-0-4.
he's
Death's
been
not
playing
found.
incredibly well. Death's not found, indeed.
He's a good lad. This FN. He's pretty good on the Dota 2 game.
It's not very easy for him to not die too in these fights too, because like Batrider's always looking for the Invoker. If you can see Invoker, yeah, you just jump on him immediately every time you see him. But he's been like really far in the back. Now he has a Lincoln, so Batrider has to commit his Force Staff potentially to pop his Lincolns. It's not easy. Things have gotten a lot harder for General, and one of the big problems to Ursa is ending the game. You win the lanes, you win the early game, you win the mid game, you have Aegis, but can you end the game?
Can you end the game, indeed? It's why we saw for a period of, what, like a week and a half, 2 weeks, there were a number of people going Desolator on Ursa, just so you can go and hit buildings.
Yeah, just because Aoi wins
Yeah.
games with Ursa, and he gets Deso, so people are like, he's winning games, what is he doing differently?
What?
He buys Deso.
He's closing things out. What's going on? Yeah.
Deso actually helps a lot for the fights too, because Fury Swipes is physical, so you can burst people down. I wouldn't say not nearly as reliable as Basher, but definitely quicker. You don't get owned as by Force Staffs as much, because Force Staff requires a lot of reaction time, whereas Basher is not as much damage, but the person itself can't do anything. But if you go Deso, the person who's Force Staffing and the person who's getting hit might not react in time.
Okay.
Sweet.
Na'Vi are setting up. Ogre is a fair distance away, but he's got Bloodlust and TP to Shrine, so he'll be ready. Dire Observer Wall's already placed out, but in kind of awkward positions.
Sees the Batrider. Batrider might actually get jumped here.
He tries the hook, but General skirts the outline there as they jump on in. Now they jump on out. Force Staff away. The glimpse back. Batrider sent further away. The glyph is forced out as well, but this is why Na'Vi have the advantage. They're on the high ground. They've got their BKBs. Aramendo is found by Chappie as well with the Static Storm. He's dead. Well, this is big ultimates expended as Pycat pops the Enrage and turns the fight up against the Lifestealer. The Fury Swipe stacks. Getting built up here. Chappie lassoed as well. Dragged into the danger zone as Dendy slams him down, and Pycat, he's still pretty free to roam through this. Aegis available. The Ice Walls drop with the Kinetic Field down as well, but Na'Vi, they've got what they came for. The racks have fallen. With that glimpse back into the bash, Pycat, he turns the fight. The Lotus Orb's up on him. Chappie tries to munch through, but the Deafening Blast misses. The hook will land, and they'll finally pop the Aegis of the Ursa. The trouble is, they have lost a lane, and Na'Vi are ready to fight again. Here comes the flame break. Ursa's dying. He's very nearly gone, and they will finally kill him. No! He purges through the tornado. The hook will not land, and the cheese is there. He's healed up back to full, and he's in the middle of 4 of them. Chappie, he's got to chase this one down. Open Wounds will finally slow down Pycat, but in comes the bash. In comes the damage. Finally, Chappie, with the help of FN, will kill off the Ursa warrior, but so much time, so much expenditure to kill that one hero, and in the meantime, Na'Vi are taking buildings, they're farming, they're running away, they're doing everything that they want to.
Where's Dendy?
He ran away to kill off jungle creeps, Ben.
Dude, Dendy has just been like, I don't know if he has beef with Pycat or what, dude, but he is just ditching him. Pycat was there for so long. He got glimpsed back, and then he got hooked back, and then he died. I can't get rid of this.
There's a cancel button, like, above the troll's first spell.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like behind. Yeah.
Oh, okay, thanks. I was like, I don't know.
It's
what
like
to do
hidden
here.
behind the new UI.
But yeah, Ursa was just sitting there. He could have. Did he get any damage on a T3 mid? He didn't. Like that's the perfect time to hit the mid T3 too. Okay, nice. Zendy's going for like the super safe kills. Displeased with his manliness this game.
Or maybe after game 1 they were like, let's take things slow and easy and just do things properly.
He went too slow and too easy last game. He was fighting creeps.
But he was on the opposite side of the map half the time.
Yeah, that's slow. That's not good.
It's not good, no.
At least he's with his team this time.
What's FN doing? Is he actually calling good game? Misclick, yes, 2 misclicks in a row. Maybe he's cleaning his keyboard or something.
Sorry, something. You know, this actually happened to me when I misclicked good game well played because I changed my chat wheel hotkey.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. And I have good game well played on there. It happened during one of the open qualifier matches where I was trying to skill up. I changed my skill up to something that's like way away because you don't need it that often. And then I changed my chat hotkey to like what it was before, and I was like trying to skill up after the fight, and I good game won't play it accidentally.
But you can cancel, right?
Oh yeah, you can cancel it, but it's still like
BM.
It's still BM, and it just ruins the flow.
Yeah.
And it just makes you look like an asshole. I felt pretty bad, but it was a legitimate like something with hotkeys, and so I completely believe him in this.
Of course,
scenario.
yeah.
Well, it's easy to just be like, WTF, or you did that twice.
Like the question mark.
It happens.
Yeah.
It definitely happens. Speaking from firsthand, bad manner right here.
I mean, remember when, was it Jimmy? There was a pause and Jimmy typed like G. Like he wanted to type go, but he typed GG instead. And then the countdown was happening in the back of the pause, and they actually lost the game because the game ended.
Well, Jimmy is special.
Yeah. He got unlucky. Big man got unlucky.
Can't react to 10-second GG countdown.
I mean, but the game was paused. Like, it didn't pop up. Like, you couldn't press cancel.
Oh, you couldn't press cancel.
So when the game was unpaused, it just like, game's over. Like, you've lost.
That's
cool.
Pretty funny.
Yeah. NaVi, 1 lane of racks ahead. Buybacks not available for anyone on the... Oh, no, the 2 supports on the Dire team have them, but don't know if that's going to be enough as NaVi are on the rampage looking aggressively for a pick or a kill. The high ground held by Empire outside of their base. The Lincolns has popped and the Invoker is caught with a jump on in. It looks like they're going to bring down FN. He's taken before his time, and Empire, I think this is the end of game number 2. Both cores gone with no buyback, and GG is called. FN disconnects. His first death of the game was that. First death of the game because General popped his Lincolns with a 4-staff.
General made that look easy too. See, that's another thing. He was like really quick about... Couldn't need a scepter in order to deal with the Slaughter Lifestealer and Ember Darkseer. General. This is I like Navi's lineup a lot more.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Do I think he's going to go for the Radiance build? Yeah, I haven't seen a non-Radiance build in a really long time.
Yeah, same. I liked it when it was kind of coming out. You know, Miracle played it a little bit. There was the South American teams that were like playing Armlet, S&Y, the Solar Crest build occasionally, but I think Radiance kind of just took over. The fact that you have low cooldown ulti, you farm like a madman, even after the nerf where illusions don't get the Greevil's Greed stuff. And then the change to Greevil's Greed so you get less gold from bounty runes, he still gets so much farm.
Yeah, now he has talents.
And yeah, yeah, that's
His
true.
talents are not very good though.
They're not amazing, but out of the gates we go. First ward down, and Ogre gets it over towards that mid lane after smoking up and TPing. And that's like the first game I've seen in a long time where there aren't, 3 or 4 observer wards down at the very start of the game. There's only one. NaVi didn't go rushing out to place any down. Are they holding on to some? There's one on Kotl, and there's one on Slardar.
The thing about Darks is you actually don't care if they pull, because you can just steal it. You get free newts along with it. So Darkseer is, I think, one of the ones that doesn't actually care too much about having either of those camps block. You actually want to be able to stack the big camp yourself or pull it yourself. But yeah, Centaur. Let's see. Centaur supports that he would be up against would be Slardar and the Keeper, but the Centaur is actually not that scared either. But I don't know. If I were a Centaur team, I'd be scared of the Kotl constantly pulling and stacking because Kotl is really good at that.
They're playing aggressively into this bounty rune though. NaVi looking to contest and get 3 to their name, and it looks like they will succeed. Chappie, though, at the very least gets his bounty rune with the Greevil's Greed. Already up to 330 gold. Brown Boots and Iron Talon in the quick buy.
Uh-oh, are they skipping the creep wave?
Oh my god, it
I
looks
think
like
they
it.
are.
Ben, I think you're right with double Iron Shell. They might even look for a kill here, you know? They tango up already. In they go. RMN slowed, though, with the Arctic Burn. And General will just have to kill the creeps while RMN forces FN back to his tier 1. General's lost a lot of HP, though. And FN wants to come back in, it looks like. A crush to slow down his advance, but they've dragged the creep wave across, forcing Ursa to last hit under tower. And also getting free farm for your General Darkseer.
Yep, Pochka can't really do anything about this because he is a melee ogre. And they can just shrine up if they like. Slardar hasn't taken enough damage yet, so maybe go in a little bit with the Slar, bait out a few more spells before they want to use that shrine.
Well, there's the CS, and like you're saying, wander over to the shrine, and everything's going to be fine for them. Dendi mid against the Alchemist, 4-1 against the 2-1 now for Chappie. But Dendi, poor man's shield is up, he's got an okay amount of armor through that, but Ember isn't a hero that starts with a lot of armor.
2 is
anyway.
okay to you?
I mean, like, he gets a little bit from the poor man's shield, but his starting
Yeah.
armor is not amazing.
Poor Ember, armor issues.
Especially when he's an agi hero, right?
Yeah, he's not, I mean, he's not played like an agi hero, though.
He's a spellcaster.
Yeah. Now he is. Dendy's doing very well in CS. One thing about Dendy is he gets sick amounts of denies. Every game I see him, he's just like on top of the deny chart. I don't know why, but he just loves denying creeps.
As you say it, he gets 2 more to his name, taking all these creeps away from the Alchemist.
I think he has the highest average denies of any mid player in Dota 2 history, period.
Okay.
Like he just has he just denies a lot.
Hey Knoxville, if you're watching, thank you. Please tweet. Get this stat out there. Let's see who it is.
I'm pretty sure it's Dendy.
I
well,
would-
if you probably need like at least 100 games minimum or something like that. Let's say. But
Yeah.
I think
50
he's
games
definitely
minimum
up
is
there.
usually the...
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't disagree with you though.
Some of us like large sample sizes.
Sample sizes, man. Whatever, dude. I mean, 50 is not bad.
50 is not bad. But then you get into the thing of like what counts as a game. You know, like
What do you mean? What
do you only count like premier tournaments? Do you count amateur
Oh,
tournaments? Do you
right.
count professional tournaments?
Yeah, okay.
So it's
Okay. I get you now.
yeah, it's not so easy, dude. Stats are not easy.
Nope. They definitely are not. They definitely are not. Pycat, Lifestealer bottom lane, farming away like a champ, and of course Kotl. Ooh, he gets to pull off barely in across into that creep camp.
That is a sad half horse, half man.
That is Ghost Stick wandering back into the jungle. He's got Quelling Blade and Poor Man's Shield though, so he can go and hit some creeps over there. Dendi playing aggressively into Chappie, burning through that regen and HP, which Alchemist has actually fully run out of now, looking towards a Soul Ring after his Iron Talon. Dendy's got his bottle. He's sitting pretty, 19 and 5, up at the top of the board, while the aggressive dual lane over here of the Radiant team, they've not managed to completely shut out this Ursa, but they're stopping Wyvern from, you know, pulling and chaining stacks and things like that.
I think that's more important than stopping the Ursa, actually. Is just keeping Winter Wyvern irrelevant. You don't want him to get like Ghost Scepter and Blink and all this stuff that's going to make your Slaughter Lifestealer's life difficult. So I think they're doing their job. Dendy also doing a very good job of kind of limiting the Alchemist farm. He's had a ferry over a couple Sal's. He doesn't have the TP scroll available to him. A lot of the Alks will go to the Bounty Rune, then TP over, and then get the other Bounty Rune too. But he does not have that luxury this game.
First nighttime, and this is the rotation that we talked about in the last game. The Slardar, he's hit level 2, and with the chains, they hold him in. Yeah, they hold him in place. But Chappie, saved by the TP of King R there. It looks like he's level 3, and he's holding on to 1 point for Cold Embrace, or the second point in Splinter Blast if he needs it.
I've seen 2 in Arctic Burn too. The range is quite nice, as is the cooldown.
Yeah, 100 range per level. Not too bad. Dendy again. He goes on in, but this time he's the one being burnt down. The Kotl gives him mana, and Biver in the back end will throw an Illuminate, but it won't catch onto either of the Empire heroes.
Oh god, Keeper's almost level 5.
Fire. Very nearly. Hops to that. Splinter Blast out from the Winter Wyvern, and wow. Kotl is, he is level 5. 5 minutes in.
That's Keeper for you, dude. That's why I say you can't go wrong picking Keeper. This hero's just ridiculous.
I guess he did have like a triple or a quad stack down at the bottom lane, right? He's cleared that out completely, while Pycat is just sat on lane, farming to his heart's content on the creep wave. RMN up at top, found by the Ursa and Ogre, and it looks like that will be our first blood. Finally.
Easy kill.
5.5 minutes in. It took a while. Both of these teams a little bit timid with giving away a kill anywhere, but FN will find it.
Yeah, they need Slaughter just to leech and play safe. Leech, the large camp from inside the river is usually pretty typical. There's no Darkseer there to surge him out just in case. Centaur, as you mentioned, just doing the old dirty in the jungle.
Oh, Tranquil Boots.
Is he going to try and double edge that? Nah, he needs to shrine up again.
I would have gone for that, and I would have died to the big Wild Wing because it survives with 7 HP and then kills me. Oh, the shrine in base. Ah, that's good efficiency. Early on in the game, just pop these shrines. Actually,
those are so efficient. I love those shrines in base early.
You know what I do? I've started triggering a lot of people by, when I play Invoker, I get like 3 or 4 Sunstrikes out. Like Sunstrike from Fountain, go to a shrine, Sunstrike, use the shrine, go to the next shrine, Sunstrike.
You only need to use 1 shrine though. You can just sit in Fountain for the rest.
You can, I guess. Yeah, that's right.
Don't be that guy.
But
what about your junglers, dude?
No, I like using all these shrines. Dude, people in the 5k bracket don't freaking use shrines. They go they TP to Fountain, sit there and wait. The shrines are just like unused for 20-30 minutes. I like using them. I don't like them being all bubbly and red.
Maybe they go to Fountain because you use them all. Do you ever think of that?
Shut up, Ben!
Gareth?
Shut up! You're too logical. Go away. They're jumping on mid lane. Wyvern looks like he's okay. Splinter Blast at the ready, and FN changed up. RMN, though, in a spot of bother as a Stampede comes through, and Chappie will help secure the kill for the Dire team. As Miposhka is blasted down by Biver.
They are not shutting down the Alchemist at all. They're trying to throw bodies at him, but Slaughter's ending up just feeding him a little bit more. Keeper's getting his farm on, though. Almost level 7.
Wrapping in on top lane. Ogre's looking for someone. FN there found the Kotl. Has he got ulti? No, he does not. 3-0-3 builds that we so commonly see. Does not allow for the blinding light too early.
He doesn't. Yep. Doesn't skill it yet. So sad.
It's all buying time for Pycat, and of course Lifesteal's one of those heroes that once he's got armor he can start moving, making action. Maybe create a bit of havoc with the help of the Slardar, but Darkseer is relatively greedy, right? He wants to be farming until Arcane's mech. You can maybe fight once you're like level 7, level 8 with a couple of points in vacuum or 1 point in wall.
You can fight earlier than that, I think, because you have the Ember Spirit. You just throw on the Ion Shield and the Ember Spirit, and the Ember Spirit can go crazy. But things are a little bit quiet now. Dendi just gonna sit in the middle lane. Alchemist is gonna sit in the jungle right now. Ursa's gonna try and sneak Roche when he can, but overall it hasn't been too much happening in this early game, aside from a few failed attempts to kill the Alchemist.
The Bloodlust on the top tower. What level is this Bloodlust now from Miposhka? Up to 2.
Is under attack.
Can't really hold the wave away though. We can throw an Ignite, but RMN made the nice little slip in behind the tower, looking for anyone that was trying to push them back, and now they go in with the Ignite stun, TP from FN. And RMN crushes and will allow the retreat of the rest of his team. In the meantime, Dendi's got free reign in middle lane because where's Alchemist? He's tried to stack, but he's not got there. Armlet's done though. Chappie now will build into the Radiance. Things are all sort of clicking into place. You know, it's a well-oiled machine. Everything's slowly but surely moving forward for Empire. Does NaVi need to... What was that Stampede for? What are they running
Top lane.
from? Top lane? Oh yeah. Miposhka ran in, ran out, ran in. It's in the hokey pokey up there for some reason, but is there anything specifically you feel that NaVi needs to do to stop this Alchemist now, or is it too late to stop Alchemist and you have to think about how to beat him in the mid game, or once he has...
They need to run at people with Ember.
Okay.
They have 0 kills.
So then they need some kills.
Run at people with Ember and Ion Shell. I
Okay.
think that's look at their lineup. Slarlar, Ember, Lifestealer. These heroes want to be running at people.
Guaranteed kill makers. I mean, Centaur, Ghost Stick is level 7, Roshan's fallen to the Ursa. It almost feels like Empire have just had a free game at this point. Pycat, oh, that's a good TP. Crush is there from RMN though. Nice attempt by Ghost Stick. He'll go back for the stomp, but Pycat, turn. Oh, RMN very nearly dead to that Centaur double edge.
Yeah, the thing about it is they're able to use Stampede for every fight on Empire, and Navi aren't really forcing anything. Like normally, you'd get punished for using Stampede and not on yourself, and you die a lot more often. But you know the pressure has not really been mounting for Navi. They haven't really been able to push that many towers. Like mid and bottom are still alive, and top's actually still alive too.
Everyone's alive, Ben. Everyone's alive, but Chappie, he's collecting bounty runes, he's running around, he's got this top lane to farm now because FN, of course, went to Roshan and now hiding in the jungle, making sure that the opponents cannot see him. While they're a little bit afraid for their lives. Kotl, nothing on the courier for him, just Tranquil Boots and Windlace, but Dendi has the Boots of Travel.
Radiant's bottom
I'll allow him to jump around the map a little bit more efficiently, but it's actually FN that's caught at mid. Has Enrage, and of course the Aegis. There's the Winter's Curse onto Dendi, but it doesn't catch anyone around him, and the Surge out from General allows Dendi to maybe run forward with the Iron Shell onto Miposhka. Chains again. The TP away from Ogre means that he's safe and happy back in Fountain. And all that aggression for nothing.
Empire playing a great keep away game right now. Ursa has not died. He didn't even lose his Aegis right there, and they're just buying time for the Radiance unless he dies right here.
Cold Embrace is there. Chappie can maybe armor toggle this off and on. No, he can't.
Ion toggle
Ion
through
Shell.
double Ion Shell.
Yeah, maybe not.
I don't think that's even possible.
I was being a little bit optimistic. Just a little bit optimistic, but you never know. Maybe if he toggled armor off while being cold embraced. Maybe, but they finally got a kill. Alchemist down, loses a couple of 100 gold, and still 1,000 away from that relic. That's another kill on the board for NaVi. They're making things happen. Just do worry a little bit about them when Ghost Stick gets this Blink Dagger. He's 800 gold away, and he's farming bottom lane completely freely. Where's RMN going? Is he warding in behind this tower? He's actually going deep into the dire jungle, looking for a place to...
That's how you kill
Up down
Alchemist.
this Obs ward. Ward up the jungle regions where Alk is farming.
is under attack.
Refuse gold given.
Trouble is, Alk isn't there. He's over towards the eastern jungles. Easy bounty rune access. You've got Ancients, you've got 2 camps to farm. Mid lane's being held by the 2 supports.
He just killed the large troll first. Why?
Oh, I didn't let the skeleton spawn?
Yeah, he did not.
Oh.
Of all the heroes, Alchemist is definitely the hero you let the skeleton spawn.
Like, Alk, or basically anyone with cleave and Alk.
Alk is way more than anyone else, though.
Yeah,
he
for
gets
sure,
like,
for sure.
yeah, how much gold does he get from those? Gets
Like plus
like
30.
plus 50 gold roughly from those.
Nah,
It's
that's-
100 gold. That's
That's fat.
It's ridiculous. It's like a bounty run for a normal hero.
That's 100 gold gone. Wasted. Slightly inefficient, but Chappie has his relic regardless. And NaVi are still yet to find an opening anywhere at this mid lane. They've been grouped up as 3, just waiting patiently. The mech from General is not quite yet done, and Pycat's been left alone mid for a little bit. He'll take the tier 1 with a rage. Stampede has already been expended. FN has killed off the Kotal, but it's Miposhka who will not be able to TP away. NaVi finds something in return, but the Kotal is worth way more than that Ogre.
They got the mid T1. Come on.
Yeah. But I mean, kill for kill.
Kill for kill, yeah.
FN.
Dire's
He's
middle
got
tower
Blink Phase
is under
Boots. Aegis is still up for another 50 seconds. I wonder what they're up to. NaVi, I guess the great thing about NaVi here is that like they're not showing any weakness themselves. They're passively farming decently. You know, Lifestealer is kind of toe-to-toe with the Ursa Warrior.
Dendy's coming in. Alchemist has 1,260 gold. He's 90 gold away from his radiance. He might die here.
He's so close. He's got his chemical rage up. He's still got the duration on it. And now the concoction. Turn around. The wall is down. There's the call. The brace under the window of him, but still dead. The ghost stick goes in. Double Edge kills himself. Dendy gets a double kill through Flame Guard. And FN chases General. One more swipe. Clapping down. Aegis going to be taken back and reclaimed by the big man, but I think this might be the death of the Ursa again. Yeah, he tries to battle through, but Pycat with Dendy, they've got more than enough to kite him and hold him in place. 3 kills to the good. NaVi find a 3-for-1 trade-off and keep their tier 1 bottom lane alive.
Dendy played really well that fight. He didn't go on the Alchemist. Alchemist was like, you really want to kill the Alchemist because he has Relic, he doesn't have Radiance yet, and he's the one beating on your tower. But if you go on him, you might turn around and get Winter's Curse and just get slapped by the Lifestealer.
Dendy's perhaps in trouble. Oh no, Pycat's here ready with him. Chappie has his Radiance, but the rage comes through from Pycat. With the acid spray down, they can't chase him. A 2v1, which they just cannot go on into because Dendy has no mana remaining. In general, with the Arcane Boots, will replenish a little bit of that. Dendy going with the Veil build. That's something that was very, very popular for a long time, but more recently we've seen a number of players, you know, skip Veil and go straight Aquila Maelstrom. How do you feel about the Veil this game? As Ogre?
They have the Ion Shell, so I think it's fine. In this game, you can actually get a lot of damage with the Ion Shell. And
Miposhka has been so good with these TPs. Like, once the Crush has been expended, or the Chains, he just TPs out. Sometimes he dies, but most of the time he's been getting back to Fountain. But yeah, the Veil, I guess you got what? Ion Shell Illuminate on top of all of Ember Spirit stuff.
Dire's top
Yep.
tower is under attack.
Generally enough, I would say, to warrant getting it. And the armor against Ursa helps, especially if you get Winter's Cursed. He's most likely the one to get Winter's Cursed, unless they're trying to stop the Lifestealer from attacking people during a rage. That's the second most likely target. Eventually, though, he's not going to be tanky enough to TP out from anything.
Oh, they get a kill top lane, but Dendy's the one caught mid! Perfect timing there. Ghost Stick with the 2 others, King R and FN. They smoke and they wrap in. NaVi thought they found a freebie top lane, but an Ogre for an Ember Spirit. Empire will be well happy with that. And now you're looking at Chappie launching himself from Radiance into Boots of Travel in about 50 gold. After this creep, he's got it. And the Kotal, who had such an amazing start, it's now 17 minutes in. Okay, you're building into Aghanim Scepter. But the Kotal, even with that like A vision, giving the initiation tools for Slardar and Lifestealer,
Dire's
is it going to be good enough to stop this Alchemist from split pushing all of your lanes? Because you're never going to see the Alch. He'll TP, pop Manta, go hide somewhere.
It'll help the Lifestealer and it'll help the Lifestealer in particular when he's like back in base trying to kill the illusions. Like it's a very normal thing to like you're pushing tower, but when your lane's getting pushed, you're like, okay, just TP back, I'll recall you. So it's really nice for those sort of situations. But I don't know. At this rate of Alchemist farm, I'm not sure. They're still not ahead, I would say. By net worth metric, they are ahead by 500, but in terms of how they should be faring at this point in the game and what they need to be doing at this point and how far they need to be ahead, I would say they are about 3,000, 4,000 gold away from where they would like to be, ideally, in an even match.
Okay.
If they can stick the next Roche, I think they'll be in a really good spot.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Well, FN Nearly has his basher. Illuminate comes in. Nice little blink to dodge away from that. And this actually puts RMN into a position where he goes in straight onto the Ursa Warrior. Enrages there, but he's already low HP. The battle continues on the back, but they chase in the Winter's Curse down, and Pycat forced to fight into RMN, not quite killing him off. In the back end, though, Ghost Stick, he's dropping to Darkseer Kotl. He goes back in looking for maybe a double-edged stomp, but he's not going to get it. NaVi, they find a kill, and yet again defend this bottom tier 1. As Chappie, 1v1ing Dendi up on top lane. Sure enough, Ember Spirit just chains him up, forces the Chemical Rage. This is still going to be Chappie gaining a lot of gold from the creep wave, and tier 1 for NaVi will be taken... Oh, sorry, tier 1 from Empire will be taken by NaVi.
Misclick? Hockey issue? Who knows?
So. Maybe his mouse fell off the table or something.
Has that ever happened to you?
It's never happened to me, but it's happened to someone. It happened during a tournament one time where the mouse just like slipped off a table or some shit. And it actually broke the mouse and they had to replace it. So the pause wasn't just a quick pause, unpause. It was a pause, replace the mouse, and then...
They'll never buy from that sponsor again.
Yeah, it dropped 3 feet and died. FN full basher. Maybe this is where Ursa starts to get a little bit stronger against the lifestealer, but it feels like NaVi always get the jump. The past, 8-9 minutes or whatever, NaVi have constantly been the ones forcing fights across the river, looking for these initiations, and Empire just seem to be really timid in what they're doing. Ursa is always a hero I thought was meant to, go and fight, brawl as aggressively as you can, look for openings whenever possible. But with an Alk on their team, it's almost as if Empire is saying, don't fight, just farm. I will stop the Roshan from happening by NaVi, though. And now the awkward dance around the pit that we've seen so often from CIS games.
That sentry doesn't catch the observer. It's just out of range.
Lane Crush. Oh, look at the combo! NaVi, they've found them all. Ghost Stick Stampedes, but they've only killed off the Winter Wyvern. In comes the Alchemist. 1, 2, 3 slaps down RM and Slardar. And what looked like a huge wombo combo that I really thought was going to kill maybe 2 or 3 heroes of Empire there. Turns out to be just 1 support down. NaVi go into the Roche pit and look to finish this off before Empire can really do anything about it. But FN with Chappie. 3 seconds until Chemical Rage, and Roshan is given up on by NaVi.
They don't have the Slardar for the amp. That was a really nice observer ward place. I also thought the 3 heroes were going to die, but very patient, waiting for the shrine on the Empire. That's one that you definitely wanted to have up before contesting Roche at all. And where is Slaughter going to TP? Back to mid. Alchemist is not there for the fight, but Ursa's heading on over. BOTs are up on the Alchemist in case they do want to take this, and he's already TPing in.
He's coming back. Roshan, half HP. Winter Wyvern. Observer ward from the Radiant placed down, and Alk is going to stun himself there. Sentry ward will spot out. Yeah, they've killed the obs. Darkseer stunned. In comes Ghost Stick, killing off the DS. Pycat though, chomping down on one. Araman in the background, and then comes Dendi. Kills off the Alk as the Chemical Rage wears off. And now Roshan might belong to NaVi as the Stampede comes out way too late. It's Centaur 1v1ing onto Dendi. Iron Shell is down, but Ghost Stick looks like he'll drop, and Roshan, in they go. FN was trying to solo it, it looks like, but Pycat with Aura, man, they've slowed him, they've killed him. Pycat gets another dominating streak for him, and Roshan will go the way of NaVi. Empire, they lose so much from this. 3 heroes gone, team fight lost, and Aegis going into the hands of NaVi.
Desperate play by Ursa during desperate times.
I was wondering where he was during the fight, and then I looked into the pit, and he's there.
Poor Winter Wyvern has not had an impact this game. And that hero is just very difficult to play in any normal situation. Also, his talents are crap. Have you seen his talents?
Oh no, I've not actually.
They are really underwater. They're like pre-nerf, or sorry, pre-buff Wind Rangers in terms of usefulness.
40...
8 intel is really bad.
And then the 2 good ones you have are on the level 20 line. You have to choose one of them.
And its level 25 is not even that great.
No. I mean, Splinter Blast cooldown is pretty good if you're defending high ground, I guess. Well, it's very good if you're defending high ground and just like spamming out waves, but... Actually, what is it? That takes it down to 4 second CD?
If you're level 25.
If you're level yeah. If you're level 20. Yeah, good point. Actually, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to shut up now. Hand of Midas Wyvern, here we come. Just for that talent.
Have you seen Carry Winter Wyverns?
Oh yeah, I have the Dragonlance, Bloodthorn, Mjolnir. Yeah.
Scepter.
That's my go-to build in Overthrow, actually.
Oh, really?
It's Winter Wyvern with that, yeah.
Oh.
It's really sick.
I need to try that.
It's really sick.
It doesn't sound like it'd work in a real game, but in Overthrow...
In Overthrow, it is actually viable. Because you are like Lone Druid is a better sniper, but Winter Wyvern is a better Lone Druid almost.
In Overthrow.
In Overthrow, yeah, you do actually have to keep adding that because we're not talking about the real game. Four people from Empire grouping up top. RMN was maybe aiming for someone, but this is one of the biggest strengths of the Keeper of the Light. You look for a gank one lane, don't find anything. You move to another lane, and you try again. Keep on trying. But this is one of the difficulties Empire has, right? Their draft is much more nuanced. Their heroes like the Wyvern are harder to play. NaVi, I don't feel they have any difficulties executing. It seems to be much easier for them to, wander into a team fight, find an initiation, and just throw their spells in.
I agree. That's way easier to execute.
Stampede in, and there's the execution. Kill off Alchemist instantly. Ghost Stick does land his stomp onto Lifestealer, but the chase on the eastern side. Winter Wyvern's caught and killed, it looks like, as NaVi are starting to run rampant with this game. Miposhka, mana leaked up. Dendi, well, he's popped his veil down onto him, and Ogre, 1, 2, 3, down he goes. Pyket finds the final blow, and a magical streak goes his way. Tier 2 towers look like they will be forfeit, at least the one in middle lane as the lane pushes in with that creep wave.
I'm actually a little sad that FN's not playing the Alk.
Yeah, when you said it and we realized Chappie was playing, I thought, oh dear.
They even took it mid, too. Maybe they were trying to pull some next level stuff with the lanes. I don't know. Regardless, Ember would have actually struggled a lot more versus the Ursa, I think. Alk would have been pressured really hard, though, by the DS on top, so I don't know if that was a trade-off that they were willing to do. However, Ursa and Alchemist just don't have that great a synergy, just because, like, there's never a time when both of you guys are really strong. Like, early game, Ursa's really strong. You get the Aegis, Ursa's still really strong. By the time you get second Aegis, you're starting to fall off, and that's when Alchemist kind of has, like, Radiance, plus one more item. And then Ghost Stick is...
Ooh, on the first hit bash, yeah, cool.
Mega dead.
Cool. He's gone. Yep. Another kill. 17 to 9. Oh, the lead is about 4,000 in net worth. We're going to jump up to about 5k. Experience-wise, though, it's close to 8 or 9,000 for NaVi as we look at the hero levels. 18 Ember, but it's the supports really. Kotl up to level 15, Darkseer 14. That's the big difference maker there. As poor little Winter Wyvern still stuck down at level 9.
Hard hero to pull off. I can't even blame King Arthur feeding.
Nope. Only 0-4. It's not that bad.
The problem is the way he dies in team fights. He just gets run at by Ember.
With no spells cast.
Yeah, and with no spells. What are they supposed to do when the Ember runs at him? Ursa can think about hitting him, but that's about the only hero that can actually do something versus him.
Just Winter's Curse the closest enemy unit, whether it be a creep or a neutral or whatever, just throw it.
That just pauses the fight for like 3 or 4 seconds, though, unless he gets a really good one. Really good one is like one on the Ember Spirit with the Lifestealer's Rage on cooldown or something like that. That's like a really good one, but he hasn't been able to pull anything out of his hat so far. Maybe he'll transition into Winter Wyvern carry.
Not with Arcane Boots. Not with Arcane Boots.
Aether Lens so you can spam more Splitterbass to get more gold to get your level 25.
That's definitely how it works. Is there a full item coming for Alk? He's given Ags to Centaur, actually. So
oh, that's a game changer.
Chappie gives Ghost Stick Aghanim Scepter for that Stampede. Now, are Empire going to smoke and go and look for a fight? Again, angry scribbling from RMN as he says, this area is a no-go zone, let's group up and maybe even smoke themselves. He's holding on to one.
They do have the Centaur Axe, though. You know, that's kind of crazy that Alk, his best 4,200 gold, for him to survive is an Axe that buffs everyone, not just one person. It buffs everyone.
That is very good. That is very good. Does Wyvern have an... Oh yeah, Axe Wyvern is a stupid Arctic Burn nonsense.
That's why carry Wyvern works.
Yeah, I forgot about that for a second. There's no one else that really needs Ags on the team, I guess.
Ursa's
okay, but
Ursa's definitely.
he might. I guess if he goes BKB, he can just have it given. There's no slot redundancy there. But Ghost Stick is.
Well, it's not slot redundant because when you get jumped on by Slaughter Lifestealer, you can enrage out of it.
But I mean, if he's given it by Alk, he doesn't have the slot wasted by buying one himself.
Yeah, he definitely needs it.
Yeah.
I think BKB is not particularly great here. I'd much prefer to just have the Ags on the Ursa. But then again, I mean,
this way he can have both.
Bottom tower is under attack.
But then where's his deeps, yo?
Tower is
Yeah.
under attack.
That's a good question. And he's not even finishing Abyssal Blade. He's buying Diffusal Blade. Purge off amp damage? Purge Flame Guard?
Can't purge amp.
What's he purging then?
Surge.
Surge?
Surge is pretty good. Flame Guard's pretty good.
Okay.
It's not amazing, but
Dire's bottom tower.
he doesn't have too many options right now.
Oh, back to farming they go. Chappie into the jungle, sends illusions down lanes. And just keeps that flow coming on in. Empire there look like they are setting up for something top lane, but Ogre, Wyvern, Ursa is one of the more awkward. Yeah, they are retreating as fast as they possibly can. Those three heroes like one of the more awkward trios to try and gank with. You've got like no instant stun, you ignite, you try and blink in with the Ursa and finish them off, but
Yeah, no solution for
it's like
for the Ember until you probably get the Abyssal Blade on the Ogre.
Mm.
Or sorry, on the
Ursa.
Ursa, yeah, like you talked about.
But then there's like blinding light on Kotal. I don't know.
So BKB is for
Nah, I guess. Hard counter the blinding light. Roshan potentially up in the next 15 seconds or so. Dendi looks like he wants to push this top lane a little bit further in. Empire have to come back and deal with this. It's not going to be a second axe from Chappie though. It will be the Octarine Core. As well as the plate mail he's picked up as a kind of a casual item for himself and probably built into the Shiver's Guard. This means that FN won't have an axe for himself in the near future at all. Well, you look at the Kotal, 4-staff axe and gem. And when is the next daytime? A minute and a half until next daytime when they can start sweeping across this map, looking for all these Dire Observer wards. Maybe even making a play around this Roshan, but Empire are the ones storming forward. The smoke is broken. Highcat, he's down on the low ground and Empire can't find anyone. Maybe they see the Kotal and he'll walk straight on into them. They see him now. They definitely know what's up. Blink, Stomp, Crush, dead. Kotal gone.
Or was the blinding light?
Maybe RMN gets caught as well? No, he's fine.
Radiant structures.
Where was the blinding light?
I don't know. He just ran away without blinding lighting. Like if he blinding light, at least the Ursa has to pop this Enrage,
Radiant's top
which
tower has fallen.
is a small thing, but it certainly still helps. Keeper of the light.
Where's Dakota when you need him? With his imitations, his impressions of Kotal. Roshan is alive. RMN wants to go and scout out the shrine with the rest of his team, but they're smoked up. Still waiting on the low ground. They see an observer ward, but killing it off means giving away their position.
FN standing right on top of another observer ward.
And Empire not having any of it. Dendi even blinks forward aggressively. RMN, are you going to go on Wyvern? Blink, Crush, 2-hit dead? Yeah, simple stuff. Gem on the deck. Stampede used. Empire cannot go and reinitiate though, and FN back into the wall. They've got the BKB pop by the Ursa Warrior. And NaVi chains onto the Ogre. Alk Illusions will come out, but this opens Roshan so nicely for them. Into the pit they go. Amp damage and all that. Empire can't do anything about this. Aegis Chi's going to go the way of NaVi. Is that a game finisher?
They could try.
At the very least, take a tier 3, I guess.
They're not that scared about waiting though, just because Ursa is going to get progressively weaker and weaker as like more armor comes out and more 4-staffs, Ghost Scepters, Blinks and whatnot. And then Alchemist is farming, but he's been pretty manageable so far.
Yeah, Alchemist hasn't been that really annoying tanky hero in teamfights. He has...
He's died so much.
Yeah, he's 2, 3, and 4. And, you know, usually when you see an Alk with 3 or 4 deaths at 30 minutes, all of them came during laning phase. But this game he had a decent laning phase. He just died in mid game while he was farming. Good movements from NaVi made sure that they found them. They were even looking again. Look, they're hunting for this alchemist non-stop. They don't have the gem on the Kotl anymore. As they find a Dendi illusion and clear that one up. But tier 2 bottom is where NaVi have all grouped up around. And with this barrier between Empire and NaVi potentially cutting the advance of them, RMN with Pycat inside of him could break this initiation. But Empire standing by their shrine. He's just given... there we go. Ags on Ursa. He's just been given it. Chappie finally moves that one over. So he didn't go Octarine Core. He finished his Shivers, then gave Ags across to FN, and didn't bother going for the Octarine. But tier 3 at bottom lane, it's getting pounded. Glyph is used. Empire are coming in from the western side. They're going to look for this Kotl, but in comes General. Vacuum misses completely. Cheese popped by Dendi. Kotl's already dead. RMN chased down as well by the Ogre, but the Winter's Curse, it's down onto Lifestealer. Dendi does like no physical damage at all, and now they've changed up the Ogre and the Alk. The Cold Embrace comes in, but Dendi remnants forward, finishes off one, looks for another. Chappie stunned, bash. Pycat killing him off. Pycat's still alive, but the Aegis will be taken out of his hands. The high ground is held again by Empire, and NaVi looks like they'll have to fall back at least for now. Kotl will respawn in 3 seconds time. I wonder if they'll try and continue this push. The TP to the shrine. Kotl wants to get back in.
Got the Alchemist yet again. After pulling on so many Ags, he's not actually that strong himself.
And now with no Glyph, no Alk, no Winter's Curse, NaVi have a tier 3 and they might even have Barracks. Empire on their last legs at this point. 21 to 11, your highest net worth hero dead. Ghostic goes in for the stomp, but no follow through. FN might have to save his Ogre here. The Vacuum back into Crush, the combo! They've got them! 3 of them dead, godlike streak for Dendi. And Ghostic even with the Axe upgraded Stampede to get them away. FN with the Enrage. Will retreat back into the fountain. The chains catches too though, and I think Dendi wants to go in for more. RMN with another crush. And Ghostic, he thought he was safe, but he's really not. The Winter's Curse finally catches Dendi, but there's no one nearby to punch him, apart from the Darkseer, and another falls. The dieback from Winter Wyvern. 4 dead from Empire, and Alchemist, when he finally respawns, there's no one left to support him. RMN's playing this guerrilla tactic, warfare style, jumping in, jumping out, looking for crushes, but FN with the first hit, bash, the concoction lands as well. RMN's gonna sprint himself away from this, and he might just be able to. The Radiance is burning down, but Pycat comes in, bashes up FN, the Desolator doing work, and Dendi slowed somehow there, but still gets the chains, the Vac. Chappie forced back to his shrine, and Dendi finally gives up on the kill. Another Rex falls mid lane, 1.5 lanes gone. NaVi might stop now, because Empire are finally respawning and can hold the line, but NaVi were the ones that drew the line, and then now can look for a shrine up at top.
You can see why you don't want first phase Ursa. Like, he gets kited endlessly. That was a really great blinding light by Vir2. He did it immediately as they jumped the Ember Spirit, and then Ursa had a BKB out of it too, because he used Enrage to try and burst the Ursa down. And then after that, it just becomes so easy to constantly deal with him over and over again.
Ursa just can't stick on a target. Like, no, he jumps in and then he stands AFK.
Blinding light, force staff,
searing chains,
anything.
Force staffs and BKBs.
The thing is, he got pulled in Ags too, and he still can't stick on a target. But a lot of that is because of his teammates too. We haven't seen any really good Winter's Curse coming out from Winter Wyvern too. Winter Wyvern hasn't been able to even slow people from the Arctic burn to prevent them from running away from this Ursa. And this fight's just really rough. Yeah, no Abyssal.
No Abyssal and Ursa, I think, is one of the big things. Pycat.
He has enough armor now, I think, on the Ember Spirit to even survive it.
Maybe so. Pycat has an Abyssal. General spots FN. The Blink Stomp is there with the Concoction as well. The Darkseer is gone. Pycat wants in. Even after losing their big team fight hero, RMN with the Remnants forward. Hello, Dendi says goodnight. 2 heroes gone. RMN will finally fall, but look at Pycat from being ripped to shreds in here by Chappie, as well as this Ghostic Centaur, and they do bring him down. Dendi's left alone. And doesn't have a leg to stand on as Chappie sprinting forward. Does Dendy have another remnant? He does in a second, so he can throw this up onto the high ground somewhere, but he just blinks away. Somehow able to escape. Good chains again. Remnant across. Concoction will still land. Blinding light is there from Biver, but in comes FN. Dendy's got no more escape mechanisms. Tries the slight chains to get away, but Dendy's gone now.
Oh, wow.
NaVi, they lose a team fight next to their Ancients thanks to Empire killing the Darkseer first.
Dendy had some big plays, too. He went in with a Remnant and just blew up the Winter Wyvern. I thought Winter Wyvern was going to get a really good curse off, but he ended up only getting the Cold Embrace on the Ogre, who ended up also dying to the Remnant. But General died very early on in that fight. Wasn't able to cast his wall, wasn't able to really surge anyone away from the Ursa, and Ursa finally got his BKB off before anything bad happened to him, before he got blinding lighted and pushed out of position, before anyone else could lock him down. And Leipzig tried his best, but either he was unlucky with bashes or he was just taking too much damage inside the Rage.
Yeah, he was in between two Alkalusions, a Centaur, and the real Alchemist. It was a pretty rough one. And Alk now, I think he's going to buy a yeah, he's actually finished the BKB for himself, so Shiver's BKB on top of that. Raddy Manta. Don't know if he looks to buy any more Aghanim Scepters. Maybe one for the Ogre wouldn't be bad, but probably focus on buyback for now, and then maybe a Moonshard or something. But so, what about selling off Armlet for an Abyssal Blade of his own on the Alk?
I think AC might be better for him.
Let's buff up the armor of the rest of your team, and I guess
Abyssal is pretty good though. I think they can rely on Ursa for the bashes though, and then Alk can just be the tank with the AC.
I also like AC for when if you do win a team fight, pushing high ground and taking buildings. It helps you out a lot there as well, I guess.
They still haven't taken T2's gear.
They really haven't. That's why I'm looking at this map and saying, hey, they need something to kill buildings. I think AC might help as well. Both teams dodging each other for now, though. NaVi, they can push out mid and bot lane. The two ones that are lacking the melee racks.
Daytime fight could be a lot different for them, as Kato does have flying vision over all of these heroes. There is no shrine on the top side. Empire might get caught out here.
They've got Stampede. RMN smoking forward, Blink Crush, no Stampede just yet, and Ghost Stick is gonna die before he can even cast it. The Winter's Curse is back over onto Pycat, and in comes the Alchemist, the buyback from Ghost Stick. He's got his Stampede ready, but he needs to get into this team fight. Dendy remnants into the back, looking for King R, and there it is. Ghost Stick pops his ultimate. General with a vacuum wall in the back end does a little bit, but not enough. FN is now looking for kills. He's found the General DS, infest into a creep by Pycat. Chappie can't stick on a target, but FN is finally going to drop. Surely he dies, and he will. RMN also dropping on top of that ramp, and Dendy, can he escape from this? A remnant to safety could be enough to save him. Blink off, call down, but no. Arctic Burn takes that one back, and General buys back. They want to continue this fight. Pycat sprinting forward. I think King R is dead here. A few hits from Pycat once the Cold Embrace is done. Will be at the end of the Winter Wyvern. Ghost Stick, Mana Leak, Blink Dagger. They're not going to be able to get you far enough away from Dendy and Biver, and General even comes in. The buybacks galore, actually, as Ogre wants to return to this one. But that's 3 heroes now on Empire without buyback available. Alchemist. He really wants to stun Dendy. He pops his Manta Style, but the Abyssal Blade comes through. Pycat, a couple more chomps, one more, and he's got it. Buyback from the Alchemist is needed just to save their base. Empire, what just happened?
Throwing bodies left and right, dude. Ember Spirit is... He fights way better when the BKBs are down. Ursa only has so many cooldowns, whereas Ember, you know, he's just kiting them non-stop and doing his thing. He's just level 25 now at the moment with Octarine, even has a chakra for extra cooldown reduction, and is just kiting them all day. And they blew up the Centaur before Ag's ulti. That was the most important thing that fight. And where was the Winter Wyvern? Normally Winter Wyvern would be there for the Cold Embrace, but he just doesn't have any items. He doesn't even have Aether Lens for the extra cast range. He just could not save the Centaur.
Yeah, no force and no blink or anything.
Cold Embrace.
It looks like Dendy's just cleaning up. Alchemist is the last man standing.
They can always just jump the backline with the Ember. That is, I think, the biggest problem in this game, that Ember was just able to bypass the Ursa, just ignore him, and just gun for the weak Winter Wyvern every single fight.
Just beeline for the Wyvern. Alchemist with this death.
That has to be game.
You leave Ursa alone. cold, tired, hungry, and dead.
GG.
And the Cubs stand no chance when their parents are gone. GG is called, and Empire defeated by NaVi, who make their way into the grand final of this qualifier, facing up against VP. It has honestly been like a dream run from NaVi. They struggled in the group stage. They won the tiebreaker against Comanche, and then